Hi, I'm JC.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
Hi, I'm Hike.
Hi, I am 24 Grant.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Pan.
And will they be able to deal with so much more?
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN.
Here on the middle side, gonna be able to throw down a few rocks and den, but not really looking to connect anything at all. So this should be just another clear strike here, coming in for the side.
Panda is in here, another takedown, and
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN. Since we are the only team MYSG right now, which means we are the #1 team in the MYSG server. Let's go! Which means YOLO on top. Together we strong. Hurrah!
Hi, I'm JC from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Ivan from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Hike of Team Panda.
Hi, I am 33 Grant from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Panda.
I know for sure that what we dwell on is who we become.
A winner is a dreamer who never gives up.
Kami sa Panda, we respect all, but we fear none.
Tough times never last, tough people do.
Hit like ravens, chill like pandas.
Victory.
Much from defeat.
Boom, F-flash, nice. Last na kayo. Back on Alpha and KMT in there. Never use, always a chat. Shut down the ground as well. Never use,
There's nobody near. The wind's all that I can hear. I feel like I am invisible and nobody cares. But if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I will never ever reach it, then I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be the shooting star, brightens up your heart. No, we're hurting, but the light and hope there's nothing. Oh, I wish I could be reckless, but I'm so small and I won't be seen. Oh, if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I'll never even reach, and I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star brightens up your heart. I know we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here. I'm still right here. The sky is There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star brightens up your soul and heart. No, we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here.
I can't believe what's happening here. When the apocalypse comes, death approaches like a rising tide. This nightmare continues to torture me. And no escape. Shattered world, leaving behind many remnants of the past. Yet there are a few survivors, fleeing, constantly struggling on the path of survival. From desolate fields at dusk to cities turned into ruins. Enduring winds, sand, and dust, the road ahead is still long. But we hold on to our beliefs. Only through unity and solidarity can we find our place of refuge. New companions, new shelters, a new dawn. But when the nightmare of apocalypse strikes again, how should I face it head on?
Taking down the one of Clear Trinity. Oh, clear view. Sharps almost being taken down to hit Morbid as well as Kaigawa. It is not working so far, and they head into the huge device as they will not pull it out. taken down to one. A clear Trinity. Oh, clear view. Sharps almost being taken down to hit Morbid as well as Kaigawa. It is not working so far, and they head into the huge device as they will not be going down.
Hi, I'm JC.
Hi, I'm Ivanus.
Hi, I'm Hike.
Hi, I am 34 Trans.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Panda.
And will they be able to deal with so much more?
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN.
Here on the middle side. Gonna be able to throw down a few rocks and den, but not really looking to connect anything at all. So this should be just another clear strike here coming in for the side.
Panda is in here, another takedown, and
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN. Since we are the only team MYSG right now, which means we are the #1 team in the MYSG server. Let's go! This means YOLO on top. Together we strong. Hurrah!
Hi, I'm JC from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Ivanus from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Hike of Team Panda.
Hi, I am 33 Trans from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Panda.
I know for sure that what we dwell on is who we become.
A winner is a dreamer who never gives up.
Kami sa Panda, we respect all, but we fear none.
Tough times never last, tough people do.
Hit like ravens, chill like pandas.
Victory.
Much from defeat.
Hope and flash, nice. Last na kayo. Black on Alpha and KMP in there. Where are you? Always like that. Shut down the ground as well. Where are you? Go.
There's nobody near. The winds is all that I can hear. I feel like I am invisible and nobody cares. But if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I will never ever reach it, then I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be the shooting star, brightens up your heart. No, we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here. Now everyone's leaving. When I look back, there's nothing. Oh, I wish I could be reckless, but I'm so small and I won't be seen. Oh, if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I will never even reach, then I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star, brightens up your heart. I know we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here. I'm still right here. The sky is There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star, brightens up your soul and heart. No, we're hurting, but the light and hope.
That song from Sherry is such a terrible way to start an esports event, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I feel so emotional and inspired right now. What in the world is going on here? This is the Raven Championship. Welcome, survivors. My name is AJ. This is Beef Mommy. We are the best casting duo that you can find out there in Asia, baby. And today, we are not fighting zombies. We are fighting human beings that may play like zombies.
I mean, honestly, when I started playing Undawn, I was absolutely scared, but I'm glad that we're finally done with the fog. That's for last week, yes. If you missed out on the action, you can definitely rewatch that, but we're fighting PvP, baby, and I'm so jealous that you have Sherry right there behind you, man. Where's my Sherry?
You don't get no Sherry. See, she chooses which caster she wants to go to, and, Beef, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. For you guys who think you want to take Sherry home, she says no. She's a good girl. She's just here today to share some information with me. Sherry's here. Catherine is here. Catherine just wants to shoot people. And, we told her to calm down. She's just said she's going to stand guard. She's going to stand by. She's got a rifle with her. And she's waiting to whoop anybody that messes with broadcast today. Okay, broadcast producers, you better not have any lags on stream, okay? Now, this is the tournament format, Beef. Walk us through what we went through and where we are today.
Here we go. We have had our phase 1. Obviously, that's going to be off air, including phase 2. And that's when we kind of had a best of 1. So it was pretty quickly. 118 teams boiled down into 16. And like what you saw last week and what we already had, it was definitely different because we had a PvPV. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of letters and a lot of zombies. Just because if you saw last week, it was absolutely chaotic. Like what I said, it was terrifying. But it boils down to this phase 4 in the final stage where we're having a camp competition, which is honestly really interesting because they're going up against each other. It's a 2v2, and then at the very end, you possibly are going up against the team that you won in that first part of our competition.
And this in itself is a clear indication that the Garena Undawn team is very serious about injecting a lot of excitement into the world of Garena Undawn. Look at them, just, instead of going through the traditional format of esports, just having some PvP modes, they're really trying to bring in some of these other modes, such as the Foggy Battle, as well as camp competition, just to heat things up a little bit. And you've kind of got a storyline being run here as well, where each and every single different phase brings a different flavor to the battle as a whole, Beef.
Yeah, it makes it very much exciting because if you're going in for fast pace, you got Annihilation. But if you want more for objective gameplay, you can go for Hotspot and also Domination, which is so important to have. And all of these teams, what are they doing? Well, they're trying to get into that top spot, the championship squad. 200,000 RC. What? AJ, I watch you in your stream, man. You're my favorite streamer for Undawn, and I know how much money you spend on every drop. So this is definitely important for all of you who are such huge fans of this game.
Oh, holy mama. I mean, 200,000 RC? Yeah, you probably don't need to top up a lot after that, unless, of course, you're a high roller. You probably will be topping up the very next day. But that's a lot of RC, man. Jokes aside, even 40,000 RC per member is huge, right? But that's not the only thing that they get to walk away with. You are going to be playing for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th because we only have 4 teams remaining in here. And the team that walks away with the consolation prize from the podium finish as well, 75,000 RC for the whole squad, 15,000 RC each. 15,000 RC, you can probably get one of those draws, right? One of those gachas for the official suit of the month. You probably can walk away with that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the current one is called the Whimsical car. I don't know if you guys have seen this pink sports car. I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of pink, Beef.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, I would be wearing pink right now if I haven't forgotten it in Manila, but definitely a huge fan of all of the skins that we've seen so far. Like what I mentioned, every stream that I watch from all of these content creators, man, their house is ballin', their cars are looking so nice, and definitely you'd want to feel good, right, in order to play good.
Oh yeah, let's not even start with the homesteads, right? Some of these people are like proper construction builders in the real world, and their Undawn homesteads are insane. But of course, it's not just about the winners of the day walking away with some goodies. It's for you guys, the viewers, to walk away with some good stuff as well. We hit 1,000 viewers. You see exactly what you get. Not much. 5,000 silver and fiberglass reinforcement coating. Now, the real goal is when we get this up to 15,000 viewers. Now, I don't know how much of fire you guys have in you, but if you can't help me reach 15,000 viewers, I don't mind. But at least help me reach 10,000 so that we can get that chip module crate for ourselves, man.
Yo, imagine if we reach 20,000. We don't even have a graphic for that, but I honestly believe that we can get it because the last time we had this broadcast, we were so close to 10,000. So I'm very much impressed, but we can definitely go higher than that. You want to have that alloy pack and also the recombining agent and 15,000 silver. So you can have a good of a house as Mustachio, dude. Man, you are loaded.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. The community will be like, can we have more silver, please? Like, can you add an extra 0 behind all of the silver? Don't worry, guys. I hear you. I'll recommend it, okay? Whether they give it to you or not, it will depend if you can help us hit 10,000. But this is the overall leaderboard thus far. We had 8 teams at the start of 2 weeks ago. Sanctuary Alpha, Vicious, Astral, F4 unfortunately have been relegated from the competition as they could not pick up enough points for themselves. As you can see, Exim as well as GRD, they're leading the overall leaderboard with 500 and 420 each. YOLO, the only representative of MYSG, currently in 3rd place with 400 points. And Panda, the winners of the very first inaugural Garena Undawn tournament, they are currently sitting in 4th. So we might just have a change of, the title here, Beef.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you mentioned, the past championship where Panda went in there aggressively. They knew how to be aggressive at the right situations. But everyone else that you can see on the leaderboard, 1, 2, and 3, they seem to know what they're doing, especially up against Panda, where everything boils down, especially when we reach round number 3 later on. Because I don't want this to be a blowout. I don't want this to be a 3-0. I want this to reach at the very end. And so it really is important to just be super tight when it comes to your gameplay and also using your skills very well. So yeah. A lot of things considered, it's a guaranteed 75,000 RC here for our top 4.
Let's see exactly what else we have got for Alayal. Here is the circle bracket. As you see, we have gone through all of those phases. Just like all of those spins that you guys have to go through out there, we have kind of brought this down to a situation where we've got 4 teams and we now want to have camp competition. But the question is, in this camp competition, you don't want to go in a 4v4 because that's pretty much, what you have in other modes as well. So what we've done is we are going to be throwing 2 teams together, and that is going to be done absolutely random. So for example, YOLO could partner up with Panda and they will take on XEMP as well as GRD in a camp competition for a best out of 3. The winning team goes on to play in the grand finals where the number 1 and number 2 spots will be given, and the losing team will play for bronze. Now this is insane beef, because this next best out of 3, you have to work with a team that's not even your team.
I know, and it's just a mind game situation here where you're kind of playing chess. Like, yes, you'd want to win this 2v2 just because you want to go into that final spot. But again, you need to go up against the team, and you could actually take notes of how they're playing and use them against it later on. So it is a mind game here, and I feel like this will definitely make things so much more interesting.
I mean, this is very realistic, because if you look at Radiation Island, sometimes when you go in there, even when the battle for the vans, you've got other teams kind of assisting each other. They kind of partner up outside of the game because they build good relationships with each other. I mean, if you were down for the event that happened in the Philippines as well as Malaysia for the Ravens Gathering, you would know that a lot of friendships were built there. And some of those friendships have also led into some in-game partnership that has been very lucrative for certain teams, because, winning some of these camp competitions brings a lot of goodies. So, there's been some debate like, hey, is that fair? Can you gang up and take us out? I mean, dude, everything's fair in life and war, man. Everything.
Do something that'll make you win at the very end. If it's teaming up with another team, go ahead. But you also have to think about at the very end, you're going to be going up against them. And that's what we're describing here in our competition, where in this first part, these 2 teams need to work together. And one thing that we haven't really touched up on is their play styles. What if these 2 teams, their play styles do not work out? One's passive, one's aggressive. Maybe that'll work out. But if both teams are aggressive, it might not make them have a good time later on in the tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, this is all up to comms, right? If you're good in terms of communication, then you're going to be able to work together with your opponents who are now going to be your team members. Dude, this is just, it's not confusing, but it's a whole other level in terms of challenging for any of the teams to go out there. But the team that can have better on the ground teamwork, they are going to be deserving a shot at the grand finals. And these are your groups. It's going to be XEMP partnering up with YOLO, taking on the current reigning defending champions Panda, as well as GRD.
Oh man, you can already see how much stacked all of these players are. And what we've seen last week is that they definitely deserve to be here. But we got XEMP, we got X-Fox, we got X-Kyo, X-Kaiser, X-Envy, and X-Crisilia, just to represent Group A. And right beside them, standing side by side, we got YOLO, the only MYSG representative here in the sea of Filipinos, the sea of chicken adobos. We got Maide, YQD, Kanda, Mikasa, and honestly, I wish I could read in Chinese, but there you go. Honestly, this group is really well balanced.
I think I kind of remembered Kanda saying something along the lines of ICULU or something along, something like that in that preview video that we saw the teams introducing themselves. But I was just so distracted with him wearing his mask and his sunglasses. I was like, wait a minute, bro. Are you purposely hiding your face because you think you're going to lose and you don't want to be embarrassed? I've got questions. And you know what's the problem here?
What?
I'm a member of Camp YOLO, so he's my camp leader and he's representing me. So I've got problems, right? Why is my camp leader out there covering his face? Is he that embarrassed? Because you see, there's a problem here. Currently, I'm the only face of YOLO out here on broadcast. And if they lose, it's going to be very embarrassing.
No, he got this. He's trying to be, secretive. Just, you have that mysterious vibe. You need to use that in order to kind of make your enemies a little bit scared of you. It's all part of the plan.
Okay. But okay, unfortunately for Team YOLO, there can be no sort of assistance whatsoever from the Mustachio. In fact, they are unlucky that I happen to be a part of the camp, because they are probably going to get roasted by me throughout the whole day. So they have to make sure they perform. Now, they go up against a very tactical squad. We saw Panda in the previous Raven Clash, and unfortunately for the other teams, they just could not match up to Panda's smarts. Now, like the actual animal in the real world, Panda was usually just sitting down in their own camp, biting on some bamboo leaves, chewing on them, waiting for the opponents to appear, and the counter-attack was devastating. They almost always took the battle away, and sometimes when it felt like, okay, maybe these pandas ate too much, now they're going to start hibernating. No, they make that eventual comeback at the end of the day, and they have gotten the victory. Now they're dead last. If you look at the 4 teams that we have, they are dead last. Perhaps another comeback is there, just on the horizon, but they have to work together with their opponents first. This is messed up, bro.
Hey, that's one thing. Like, one strategy that'll work out for you in a previous championship isn't necessarily going to work out this time around. But we're going to be starting things out. All questions will be answered here in game number 1, as you do get to see XAMP and YOLO go up against GRD and Panda here for our first camp competition.
Now, you guys, you will have to understand that if you wonder why is the UI of your broadcast a little weird, I mean, if you're a player of Garena Undawn, you know that some of our custom rooms do not have the observer mode, so we are having a direct feed of these players broadcasted on Discord, which we are then taking and showing you guys. So the unfortunateness about the quality, we just can't help that, but we will try fixing that in the near future with the observer mode, which we are definitely pushing a lot for. If you want to see more Garena Undawn competitions, if you want to see more esports tournaments, please support us by playing more of these PvP matches, as well as supporting our broadcast. Hit that like, hit that share. XEMP as well as YOLO at this point of time, 408 to 324, and the battle has barely started, beef.
And it's already pretty even. Yes, there's like 100 points in between them, but we can already see in what we've watched in the previous tournaments that things can go south really quickly. And it's really difficult because when it comes to the comms, you need to be tight when it comes to the team that you're up against. So you have the 2v2 situation here. Otherwise, they don't know that they were actually going to be partnered up with these teams that they have right now. So you definitely need to find a way to have proper comms with another team that otherwise you don't know what their playstyle is, or you don't know how they actually go and communicate.
At the moment, XEMP as well as YOLO, they are winning this out, but there is an instant trade on 2C. Mid ground has been captured by the opponents, Panda as well as GRD already, and as you can see, guys, this match is just neck and neck. I know the marks, the numbers at the top is going to be a tad bit confusing because we keep switching between the two teams, the perspective of XEMP Group A as well as Group B, but bear with us, the shoutcasters will walk you through each and every single one of these. Now you're looking at the perspective of Group B, which means they are losing their opponents. Group A, XEMP and YOLO still have a good lead, 1,092 to 996. Snipe. GRD manages to back away. Now the problem is I barely know exactly whose perspective that we are watching from, so a play-by-play shoutcast by the Mustachio. What a loss. It's going to be pretty difficult today.
No, you got this, man. I believe in you right now. I mean, we're in this perspective of Panda, and they need to catch up because slowly but surely the lead has been growing for the side of Group A, where it's 116 and 1,524. So again, they need to step on it as we're switching a lot of the perspectives. Hopefully you do get to see the perspective of what we have right now. 3 points, no, make that 4 actually being captured by Group B. So that's so far so good.
Yeah, Group A still doing pretty decently here. XEMP as well as YOLO, 1,812 points already, and their opponents can barely catch up. Garena Undawn.
You know what?
Now,
one bright thing that I'm
Tell me.
seeing here is I'm actually I didn't experience this. This is
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have because
Yeah.
you were in the start of a lot of games. But this is the start for me in a growing esports scene.
Oh yeah.
And to experience something like this, I'm just like, oh, it gives me life. It gives me excitement because
Oh, yeah.
a lot of these, I guess you say technical issues. It happens because we are at the birth of a really good game. And,
Yeah.
like what you mentioned, we are in the works of improving everything in terms of having the esports client
Yeah.
being a little bit more intuitive and even the observing and all of that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking things in the positive side. Perspective is always a good thing.
I mean, this game called Garena Undawn is insane because there are just so many elements to Garena Undawn. This game should not exist. If you really think about it practically, this game should not exist because it's just impossible. But they have beaten whatever other people have thought impossible, and they have created a game. I mean, you just rewind things, you rewind the clock by 5 years, 10 years. A game like this on mobile, yeah, get out of here. Never happening. Mobile gaming just came into the scene recently. It kind of blew up. So a game like this is really pushing, each and every single boundary ever set by a video game on a mobile platform. So yeah, a couple of bugs. You will have your fair share of people who are like, oh, bugs, you've got a broken game. And then you will have your fair share of people who see things as, the birth of AI. Like, for example, ChatGPT is legit right now, and it's still in beta. Can you imagine ChatGPT 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Yeah.
They're going to be replacing us, bro.
I'll be glad if ChatGPT could replace some of the things that I did so that I can actually just chill, do some gardening at home, watch the birds, feed the birds, chill out a little bit, grow old,
no
some
one
white
can
hair.
replace you, man.
But
No, for real.
it's great stuff, man. I mean, this game is just beating all assumptions of what is possible and what is not possible. There have been some, similar games in the past that have not really stood the test of time because they couldn't fix some very fundamental things. And I think Garena Undawn is on the right path. Obviously, perfection takes time. And like you said, Beef, I've been a part of many other games. It's just growing pains, man. Even we as shoutcasters, yeah, I definitely was not this entertaining when I started out. I was pretty boring.
Oh man, you were always just like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Honestly, iconic. But I mean, going back to the point that you made, the fact that this game is probably the most extensive and unique game that I've actually seen. And I'm not just saying this just because I'm casting it, but I had to do my research, right? I had to watch a lot of videos. A lot of people who are otherwise PC players actually downloaded this game on their PC and started playing it, and they couldn't believe that it was actually a mobile game. And even the graphics, pretty solid, and it's so extensive because you have to take a shower, you have to look at the window and appreciate the world. I mean, dude, it's like Sims. It's just like, I love it.
You gotta take a shit. No, seriously, your stomach.
You really do. Exactly, you have to.
Your stomach hurts. Your energy drops if you don't poop. Okay, that's taking realism a little bit too far, I think, Undawn. but it's okay. I'll take whatever comes to me, right? You're absolutely right. I love that realism aspect of it. I love that you've got the homestead, like we talked about earlier. Different people. Oh my gosh, some of these people, they are homestead. I don't know how many hours they spend in the game, but I have spent a lot of hours. My homestead looks nothing like that. Granted, it's a skill issue, but it's an artistic issue as well. But I'll eventually get there. Pretty impressive stuff, and it's not just there, right? You've got your different game modes. You've got, PvP, I understand, player versus player. And then PvE, I understand, player versus environment. Now they've got this whole PvPvE. Yeah, player versus environment. Not only do you gotta fight players, but you gotta fight my environment too, bro. How you like me now? Says Garena Undawn. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with the developer? It's genius.
It is though. It adds a layer of excitement. The fact that you have to worry about the other teams. No, you gotta play. You gotta play up against the zombies. That's why I'm hands off. That's the only reason why I didn't cast last week, because I'm just like, I'm gonna freak out too much. Realistically though, jokes aside, I was really sick. But hey, we're here today. We're finally in our championships, and it's so quick. I feel like the the clash was only 2 months ago, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's only because Garena Undawn really wants to grow the esports scene aggressively. And once again, I love people who are aggressive in things like this, doing the impossible. Because people initially looked at this game and they were like, yeah, it's just a game. And then they were like, no, we can make an esports system out of this. And everybody thought they were kidding. Nobody thought it would be possible. And here we are. I mean, granted, it is a little anticlimactic because we are on pause because of a technical error, but baby steps.
It is esports, baby. I mean, what is an esports without its technical difficulties? And we are very much primed and ready to stretch for as long as we can. But talking about the game, of course, but also seeing this game kind of on fans, because like me, I was very much surprised when this game came out. I'm just like, oh, it's a zombie game. I'm gonna be hands off because, like what I already mentioned, I'm not good with zombie games. But the fact that they could put also PvP plus PvE, it adds such a three-dimensional layer to this game. And seeing it for the first time in, I think it was Conquest of this year, you had an Undawn booth. And the design, the production design of the booth is just absolutely amazing. And that's how you know that the developers, the production is actually just being so hands-on to the esports of this game.
I mean, I wish they could have been a little bit more hands-on because, you know, if I look at the booth that Garena Undawn had at Conquest, you know, there was just one missing element. They didn't bring me there. So I'm not for that. All right. Give me a break, guys.
Next time. I mean, next year, I already know it.
Give me a break, guys. Come on.
Give him a skin. Give him a skin in game. I need to have a mustachio stand-in right beside me, man.
Yeah. I mean, my current mustache in the game is come on. It's not impressive. Okay, guys. It's not impressive. But anyway, jokes aside, I was actually going to say something. This is where I was coming to as well, right? As you were mentioning all of those things, I was thinking what's great about Garena Undawn is also the fact that it's very rare that you get a bunch of people behind the scenes really listening to the community. And, you know, especially for a game like this, where you need that constant feedback from the community. So at this point of time, you know, we have a pace for our leveling, which I am so much more comfortable with. There was one point of time where the levels were a little bit too slow, according to some people from the community. You know, they went and sent that feedback. And then we started seeing levels grow like crazy. And I was like, whoa. I mean, this game is leaving me in the dust because the leveling up was a little bit too fast, right? And it was all about taking that feedback, tweaking it again until what we have today, right? And that's just something that's so rare across so many other games, Beef.
Yeah, I mean, the attention to detail and also just having the ability to talk to all the players, give that feedback. But speaking of, we finally got the feedback! I am enjoying this right now. We are going to be restarting this. As we already saw a while ago, it was GRD and Panda having the better of EMP and YOLO. So hopefully they finally get the same kind of pace here.
So it seems like one of those... I do not even want to explain why we reset this. You guys are not going to trap me in the nonsense again. Okay, player jumping up and down. And it looks like it's a 1v2. GRD loses their member as XEMP and YOLO able to capture B as well. They now hold on to 3 sites, A, C, as well as D. A tad bit more work needed at E. And it's a 4-site capture. Unfortunately, Group B is still struggling.
Yeah, I mean, Group B and their struggles, it's just really showing the fact that they're just losing a lot of their gunfights. As you can see, they're actually going to be going down as we have the points finally pushed through. But finally, the comeback finally ensues. As it's still... Oh, wait, never mind. I take it back. It's still a 4-point capture as E almost getting captured as well.
Yeah, and this is what's so great about Garena Undawn, right? It's all about the game of mathematics. Which site do you send your players to? Do you go together as a squad? Do you go in there with a 1v2 capability? Because each and every single player out here within the esports tournament is playing on our esports account, which means everybody is at the exact same power level. The difference is, what do you choose to put your investment into? What gun do you bring into the game? What sorts of skills do you want to build for yourself? And what sorts of drones do you want to set up for yourself? So all of those parts are customizable. So the team that knows the meta of Garena Undawn a little bit better will walk away with this battle.
Yeah, you actually hit the point really well, is the fact that you have to be balanced, especially with working with people that you've never otherwise thought that you would be working with. And so the balance of who's going to have which skill is definitely super important. As you can see, speaking of, we see a drone right there trying to go in there for the heal. And as we're trying to take that damage, unfortunately, we're getting the short end of the stick here. And so far, 1,380 is going to be your scoreline versus that almost 1,000. It's still kind of doable for the side of Group B to actually get those points down. But again, they need to play it super safely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just trying to see exactly which player was that was just sliding up and down. Oh, it is unsure with the shotgun. He's got the M3 shotgun in his hands. And we also have a player on screen who's, for some reason, nameplate I cannot see. Hopefully we can get that standardized between the players. But Andrew, on the other hand, doesn't really need a shotgun. He doesn't want to get up close and personal with his opponents. Has got a grenade, tosses it to the left, spots the player on the right, and I believe that is Kanda that he goes up against. The good slide from Andrew manages to pull him away from danger, but it's a 1v2 and Andrew bites the dust as well. And the gap between the two teams continue to grow. It's about 400 now, B.
Yeah, it's 400 and plus the fourth capture trying to be there, trying to get that B capture. And so far we do have majority of the Group A members right there winning a lot of these gunfights. And there you go, 1,400 versus 2,000. The gap is just going wider and wider, but we need to find a Hail Mary kind of play coming in from Group B rather, just because they need to catch up so much. Although there is still time, as 4,000 is going to be the score that you have to achieve. But unfortunately for them, it is going to be that Group A that has majority of the points down and already reached that halfway point.
There is a problem here whereby the teams just do not know exactly what to expect out of their opponents. But if the losers can read the style of their opponents and find a counter in this next match, we might just have a tiebreaker for Game 3. Because remember guys, in this camp competition, it is a best out of 3. If you win this one game, it doesn't mean you immediately qualify for the grand finals. You need to get a 2-0 scoreline, or worst case scenario, a 2-1 scoreline if you find your opponent equalizing in this next round. But for the time being, the gap still continues to grow. 400 earlier, at 600 now. It looks like Group A really have got this teamwork clutched down already.
Yeah, I mean, it is really impressive. And like what we mentioned a while ago is that Group A seems to be like the more balanced team. And the fact that Panda and GRD is just struggling right now when it comes to the points really needs to find a way to clutch things up. Maybe it's the fact that the util is just not working out for them, because so far they're just not winning the mechanical gun skills.
There were a few people who were a little annoyed on the previous broadcast when I mentioned YOLO, because people were like, wait a minute, why are you talking about YOLO? Because YOLO didn't join the previous competition. And I was telling them that, you know, hopefully we can see this team part of a tournament in the future, because it is one of the top PvP teams in the whole of MYSG. And it looks like that statement has held on true and is being proven in this particular competition, where they are the only surviving, thriving MYSG squad. But you and I both know, Beef, with our experience in the esports scene, the Philippines is a different kind of monster altogether to handle. You may be able to rise up to the top in MYSG, but getting the victory over a bunch of Filipinos, that's a whole different ballgame. But at the moment, the partnership between XEMP and YOLO seems to be working out in their favor.
And that's definitely going to be the best case scenario as we're closing it down. But the gap's actually going to have a little bit more in favor for the Group B. Looks like they just went a little bit more passive, stayed back just a tiny bit, and there's only 200 points around that time in between them. A while ago, it was 400. So you know what? Slowly but surely, they can try to go and capture. But just as I said that, there are losing majority of the points here. They do have A, B, and E, and hopefully with my screen right now, I'm not quite sure if they have D, but you know what? Group A is having a comeback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And all of a sudden, the 600-point lead has been slashed down to just 400. But can they now turn this around? Can they cap at least 4 sides and make sure that Group A does not run away with the match? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it looks like game number 1 has just started. The lead now up to 400, and there needs to be a little bit more hustle from Group B. Panda and GRD. It looks like they falter. They stumble a tad bit. 3,876. If they don't have a full 5-segment capture, this is gonna be impossible, B.
Man, it's just so difficult to catch up. There is just absolutely no way to go and catch up as we finally got the final blow. Group A, a phenomenal job, and we did get to see highlights from Group B, but it was just not too much. They were able to close down the gap by just a tiny bit, but not enough to sustain. It looks like it was a balance for Group A. I feel like it was a balance of getting those kills and also really just focusing up on those OBJs. If you were actually watching, I had a blurry feed, but they never went down 3 objectives at the same time, or even if they did, they would always recapture it super quickly. So something's really good when it comes to the comms of these teams.
Yeah, it's just, you know, brilliant play. Wait, sorry, what is that? I mean, I think Sherry's in a little bit of a mood today. She just thinks Group B couldn't get their act together. So she's waiting for them to step it up in game number 2. 3,588 on the score. Unfortunately, they faltered. They did manage to catch up a little bit. And obviously, JC did so much of the work. 12 knockdowns in total. But you can see certain players from his team, like Haik and Sanji, they just could not contribute as much. Getting down a little bit too many times. Couldn't really hold their own in those gunfights. Now, on the left-hand side, if you want to take a look at it, you've got Reikyo, Envy, Mayday, as well as Kaiser, but Reikyo actually doing the most amount of damage. And the difference is not towards the top half of their leaderboard. The difference is towards the bottom. The players weren't getting too aggressive, but everybody was chipping in an equal amount.
Everyone was doing their objectives. Everyone was doing their role. They were basically giving the damage to Reikyo and Envy. They can slay out, yes, but everyone else, that when the comms reach them, okay, we cleared out this side, then we'll go and push as a team. And also they're very much wary of what's happening around the map. I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things, that the biggest differences, I think, from both of these teams is that Group B is always catching up to what Group A was doing. And I feel like that explosive start was definitely the reason for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I think brilliant play coming through from Group A. The partnership between MYSG as well as Philippines seems to be hard. But you know, here's the torture, man. Here's the torture. When it comes to a game of survival like Garena Undawn, sometimes you gotta work together, and then towards the grand finals, you just gotta treat your opponents like they a bunch of zombies, and you gotta take them down. I don't know if or not they're gonna have some good fun doing that, but at the very least, you know what's gonna be crazy, Beef? Getting into the minds, understanding how the comms are on your opponent's side, because right now they are your teammates, and you guys, if you win together, you get to the finals together. Now you know who's the leader. Now you know who's the badass. Now you know exactly whose butt you gotta kick if you want to take the victory. And now it's the exact same thing for the bronze match as well. The losers know each other really well. And you know what? If they want to blame the other team for losing, what better way to execute revenge before this clash is over?
Man, this is such a double-edged sword, and I love to see it. I know, it's just kind of like, this is purgatory right now. You have to work with these people here, but in order for you to excel later on, you're gonna have to go up against them without a doubt. There's no way that you're not going up against them. So I feel like the mixture of Philippines and MYSG is definitely working out. And one thing, like you already mentioned a while ago while we were casting, is MYSG as a region, even though we're not here for numbers, right? There's not as much teams that qualified, but every time that an MYSG team has qualified, they are so good across any title, and it seems like it's also happening here for Undawn, where they're basically a diamond in the rough.
I mean, absolutely right. Absolutely. And of course, there's a little bit of fights going on the MYSG side. As usual, you know, our region is just filled with drama. I know, because I'm from the same region. Now they're fighting as to which MYSG team is better. Oh Lord, guys, there's no fight. I mean, and I'm definitely not saying this because I'm in YOLO. I'm just lucky that I'm in YOLO, man. I barely do anything. Look at me. Here I am talking. The work is all being done by somebody else. And, and I'm dead weight in the camp. I am surprised they have not kicked me out of the camp just yet, okay? I'm not saying this because I am in YOLO. It's just a matter of fact. Sometimes you go out there, some people have the hunger in them. But just because some teams do not qualify doesn't mean they're bad. I mean, it's all about the luck of the draw sometimes. When you play a video game, if you are only going to play to win, you get too attached to winning and then you get so upset when you lose. If you play a game because it's a video game and you like playing video games, win or lose, you're still enjoying the video game. That's exactly what I want to tell to some of the other camps in MYSG. Guys, this is all about the battle to prove supremacy between servers, between regions, because now it's between MYSG and PH. Later, it's going to be MYSG, PH, Indonesia, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan. It's going to grow. It's just going to explode. I know. Think about it. It's insane. So don't fight with each other, man. We got to make sure the region's great.
And then everything is gonna grow after that. You're going North America, you're going EU, you're going possibly Australia.
I don't know if they can fight Asia though, sorry.
Sorry, we're very sweaty, but as we're gonna see some sweats right here.
Oh yeah.
2v2 for the gods. Game number 2 for camp competition is gonna ensue, and so far so good for the team A. EMP and YOLO had an explosive start, but are they consistent enough to get this game number 2?
Mayday is just so damn annoying, man. You just saw the way he stood in front of his opponent and sprayed him down. Can he do it again? Mayday, great barrel roll straight to the front. Alma ain't gonna help you, boy. Mayday's in town to play. And the guy is just absolutely slaying. Straight up all the way towards A. Mayday now, solo capture. 1v2, both of it. He sorted it out already. And now spots out yet another guy. Drone on his left-hand side. Doesn't get tagged up by a nade just yet, but we have switched observer. I will kill you if you do that again, Mr. Observer.
I was just like, wow, this is such a great perspective. And then now here we go. We're still going to have that progress up here. Oh, here we go. We're back, AJ. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And this time from Panda. Let's see. Panda XGRD. Are they going to be able to take this away? Representing Group B, but Andrew backstab. Could barely say him make a play. Mayday's right back. And this time, he is going in for the capture at A. Alpha's going to be his if nobody shows up in the nick of time. 1 more second. Capture is completed. This guy almost always getting the job done. Finally spotted out. Goes for the barrel roll. Barrel roll straight into his opponent yet again. Panda GRD's player backs away. And a good smooth retreat by Mayday. Flicks to the left. Opportunity rolls to the right, avoids it and drops the smoke instead, but still sprayed down. Andrew gets the shot right back, and he will take the side back for Group B.
Hello, movement though, that is so good and was able to prolong the capture on that ace side and possibly enable the rest of their teammates to go in there. The comms should probably be tight in that end, but still props to Group B for applying that pressure. It's still very doable. It is much closer compared to that game number 1, as Enryu is actually still very much alive. Everyone in his team's doing a phenomenal job at defending this ace side, knowing very well that they're not going to do the same mistakes in that game number 1 where they just left those sides open. They left those flags open for Group A to take.
Oh yeah, 1-3-2-0. Not a lot between the two teams. Let's see if or not Group A can pull this one and run away with the matchup. And it looks like the catch-up gameplay is still gonna be the case here for Group B. Panda GRD. Opportunity to circle around from C and sneak into B as well. But it looks like they're gonna spot out one little fish out in the open. The healing is there. I'm sorry, but I have no idea who in the world is the player in front of my face.
But now we're finally getting to the perspective of Paso Y, and so far they do have a little bit of catching up to do. So something that we've seen here so far is the 1v1s not being won necessarily by Group B. They're trying their hardest, especially trying to stack a site. But one thing that's going to happen if you're stacking a site is you're letting go of the other points that you have. And mind you, you have to worry about 5 other points. And so yes, even though you get this as a team, you're worrying about everything else on the board. But here we go. It's 1,908 versus 1,716. Still very doable for a comeback. So I'm glad that Group B is actually keeping it close.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Beef. And another shot. White Cutie, what a move! And he changes his chip halfway through the battle. White Cutie, beautiful slide. And it looks like White Cutie's just way too good with the movements. Andrew now is backed up. White Cutie down. And the 2v1 finally puts White Cutie out of the equation. And it looks like we've got some catch-up gameplay on the way from Group B. And it looks like it's just 100 points away to make their way all the way back into this championship. If they can equalize, we go into sudden death game number 3.
There you go. That's such a good gameplay coming in from Group B, and I feel like Enryu did such an amazing job and is so much present when it comes to dealing with all that gameplay. The mechanical skill for this man's absolutely great, but as we're seeing things absolutely dead tied.
I mean, that was a game-breaking hill break coming through at C. Now it's all gonna be in the balance here. It's all about who manages to win this battle out for their camp on this C hill. But the overextension on B as well. This is just a big brain play coming through from Team Group A, XEMP as well as YOLO. Instead of continuously battling it out for C, they've overextended to play the distraction at B as well. And as you can see, it's gonna be Mayday. Mayday single-handedly has that backup, and Enryu shuts down YQT. Enryu single-handedly disables them at B, and they're gonna leave this Titan to hold on to that. But C is most definitely needed for Group B as well, B.
And now the lead change finally comes through. It's a back and forth, and now we do have that second lead change dead even right now. And as we can see, it is still going to be this Group B that actually has those 3 points right there in the corner. Oh, rather, it is Group A that actually has a lead, but it's barely even a lead. And I feel like that gameplay from Group B, that the healing drone just does an amazing job at allying and also giving you that extra health when it comes to such crazy engagements, which I feel like Group B is actually utilizing a lot more.
Let's see if or not they will be able to complete this comeback here, because they have just managed to keep the gap between them at 100 points. And it looks like Fox just pumping off on his heavy. That grenade launcher was absolutely spicy. Bags two players, keeps a hold onto A, and he now backs away. Now C's been captured as well, and Fox, all he can do is just wait and see exactly what else is there for him to do. He's just backing everybody away from those hills. And if at all someone does manage to gank on him, this could be a game changer, but nobody else bothers to go towards A or B.
My goodness, C is such a bloodbath all the time, but you do get to see that one player from Group A is going to be staying pretty there by that D objective, where it's going to be important to have. I feel like that one clutch gameplay could be the difference because of how dead even everything is here. And so, obviously, you do get to see such an aggressive push coming in here, as you do get to see that the Molotovs coming into play. Everything is just on fire.
And the equalizer was there just moments ago. Here is Group B, Panda and GRD with the lead. They're making their comeback. The rise of the Philippines in the competition. And it looks like they just don't want to take no for an answer. 3-7-4-4. And it looks like the victory is just at arm's length, but they're not able to sneak C away. Is this gonna be doable for them? Yes, they do have the points. They do have the hill. It's gonna come down to the wire beam. 3,888, and it's done. It's all over with just this one sight in hand. It is complete, and the comeback won't be possible. We go into sudden death.
Oh my god. We are starting this day so good, and we're actually looking at the complete maniacal brains that we're seeing from Group A and B. They are dead even. Okay, game number one, fine, it was far away. The points were for 500 points in between them. But now, for game number two, a back and forth, you can see that for Group A and Group B, especially for Group B, when their backs are against the wall, they can adjust just like that. And I love to see it. And I keep having to bring it up. It's the play for the drones. They're so good at utilizing those health drones. I mean,
yeah, so too good. I mean, you want to go attack or defense. By the way, Sherry said, good game, well played. She likes the style. She likes the comeback. Reikyo and what? It wasn't a win on that side?
No.
It's all over? No.
Dang it, I wish we had the client, but you know what? This makes it even more dramatic.
Wait. First of all, now we understand why Kanda has been hiding his face this whole time. Guy got 44,000 on the damage, but 3 knockdowns. Kanda, bro, and he's the leader of YOLO, by the way.
Objective. Honestly, I always love to commend Objective Kings because you can see they're 44,000 when it comes to the damage, and he is just trying to go in there for the win. As a leader, you need to find a way to not only get the team together, but also find a way to contribute. You don't have to necessarily be dealing the most damage, no, but you are just capturing the objective, and this is what we've seen. It's so close, 4,000 compared to 3,972, man.
And we also see the backup coming through from Kanda on the healing as well. 7,262 in total. Of course, not taking away the prize from YQT, who was the primary healer of the squad for sure. 17,000 HP topped up. But I mean, just look at the flip side of things, right? You can clearly see that this time around, the battle was won by a team being extremely top heavy. Reikyo, 17 eliminations in comparison to the MVP from the side of Daisy. Group B could only nick away 11 eliminations from the top player, as well as Andrew walking away with a total of 9. I swear to God, I thought it was a 1-for-1, and I'm so upset right now. So upset.
I know. It's just, we thought there would be more damage, especially on Panda's side, knowing very well that they were the champions of our last, you know, Raven championship. So it's just like, you know what, maybe during the Raven clash, they were a different team. It was different meta. Now things have changed, and now you need to find a way to adapt to those changes. And now we see new kings, because we're the next thing that we're casting is the bronze championship already. So mind blowing.
I mean, beautiful stuff, right? And you are absolutely right. We are going to have a new king of Garena Undawn, SMP, and I cannot wait to find out exactly who that's going to be. But we're going to take a quick short break so we can grab a drink before we start off the next best of 5. We're going to be playing for bronze when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with Beef Mommy. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Hi, I'm JC.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
Hi, I'm Hike.
Hi, I am 34 grams.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Pan.
And will they be able to deal with so much more?
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN.
Here on the middle side, gonna be able to throw down a few rocks and den, but not really looking to connect anything at all. So this should be just another clear strike here, coming in for the side.
Panda is in here, another takedown, and
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN. Since we are the only team MYSG right now, which means we are the #1 team in the MYSG server. Let's go! Which means YOLO on top. Together we strong. Hurrah!
Hi, I'm JC from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Ivan from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Hike of Team Panda.
Hi, I am 33 grams from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Panda.
I know for sure that what we dwell on is who we become.
A winner is a dreamer who never gives up.
Kami sa Panda, we respect all, but we fear none.
Tough times never last, tough people do.
Hit like ravens, chill like pandas.
Victory
from victory, much from defeat.
Poke and flash, nice. Last na kayo.
Back on Alpha and TNT. Where are you going? Shut down the ground as well. Where are you going?
There's nobody near. The wind's all that I can hear. I feel like I am invisible and nobody cares. But if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I will never ever reach it, then I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be the shooting star, brightens up your heart. No, we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here. Now everyone's leaving. When I look back, there's nothing. Oh, I wish I could be reckless, but I'm so small and I won't be seen. Oh, if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I'll never even reach, then I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star, brightens up your heart. I know we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here. I'm still right here. The sky is There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star, brightens up your soul and heart. No, we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here.
I can't believe what's happening here. When the apocalypse comes, death approaches like a rising tide. The This nightmare continues to torture me. And no escape. Shattered world, leaving behind many remnants of the past. Yet there are few survivors. Fleeing. Constantly struggling on the path of survival. From desolate fields at dusk to cities turned into ruins. Enduring winds, sand, and dust. The road ahead is still long. But we hold on to our beliefs. Only through unity and solidarity can we find our place of refuge.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Raven Championship. My name is AJ. I'm Mr. Showdown here with the one and only Beef Mommy. We are your casters for the day, and it looks like the party has just gotten started. We just ended our best of 3. It was a camp competition, and we threw 2 teams together. We forced them to partner up, Beef.
Bro, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's basically Rekio versus like 2 other teams, man. He was MVP for both of these games, and that's a problem for if you're going to be on the other side. Since we are starting with the bronze, we're seeing him later on in the championship, but we have to set our sights for the bronze right now, where 2 teams are going to try to get even more money this time around.
I mean, it's insane, right? Because if you are YOLO, now you know that you were partners with a guy who was picking up all of those eliminations earlier on. He was getting all of those majority of knockdowns, which was being secured by the rest of their team members. And, you know, if you're YOLO right now, you're going to try to figure out, like, what in the world can we do to take this guy out of the equation? I mean, we saw YQT, we saw Mayday. They were great from YOLO, but I think we have to, you know, just keep that in the back of our minds. Maybe this bronze match can kind of show us what that interaction is going to look like for the grand finals, right? Because we are looking at those 2 teams fighting for the #1 spot. But the bronze match, though, unfortunately, has got Panda in it. And I was thinking that we might just be able to see them go all the way for a back-to-back championship. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the case.
And that's what we like to see here, just because, I mean, finding it in another perspective is that this is such a competitive game that one can be the absolute king in one tournament, but it seems like it's either YOLO or EMP. But as we're trying to find our sites here, Panda and GRD are going up against each other right now for the bronze, because yes, one of these teams are guaranteed 75,000 RC, but you definitely don't want that, because you need to be going a step above, especially if you're Panda, knowing very well that you were the kings of the previous tournament.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right. And, you know, unfortunately, we are not going to be able to see them fight for that #1 spot, but it doesn't matter. It's all right, because the whole esports ecosystem is just in its infancy. This is the second competition, and this is how great stories are born. It would be absolutely boring to see one team rise to the top and constantly just gatekeeps everybody else. It would be a totally different scenario altogether. If we have a few of these tournaments, each and every single tournament, we keep seeing the quality and the effort being stepped up by all of the camps out there, because they want to bring their servers up to that #1 spot. They want to fight for more than just victory, but glory.
And now, speaking of the glory, not only do the players will have glory, but also you at home could actually have a shot to get a lot of our different goodies, especially if we reach the 2,000, 3,000. We want to make it reach 15,000. You know what? I take it back. We want to make it reach until 20,000 because we don't know what's going to happen, but I believe we can definitely do that. 15,000 silver is a possibility for us, but you know what? Just keep sharing it. Let your group chats go wild and go crazy and send this stream to every single one of the people that you know.
Absolutely, because if you want to see the esports ecosystem grow, we need to show that you guys really want to watch the show. And the best way to do that is with the numbers. So like Beef said, hit that like and make sure you share the broadcast. And you know, if you don't want to share it to your own personal Facebook profiles, I totally understand you. Your parents might be asking you, what in the world are you doing? You're supposed to be studying. So you don't do that. You share it to your group chat because you are in a camp and there's no way in hell you do not have a group chat for your camp. If you do not have a group chat for your camp, you are in the wrong camp. So take the link, share it to your camp, and make sure all of your camp members are here, because even if your camp is not participating in this competition, you have to make sure that your camp is aware of what is going on so that in the future editions of our Raven Championship or our Raven Clash, we can name you guys champion. Because trust me when I say, I don't like seeing the same names all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We're seeing it this time around. We're not going to see Panda be number one this time around. No, it's all up to those two teams later on for our championship, XEMP and YOLO. They're going to duke it out later on, but now we have our set for our bronze championship. I call it championship because everyone here is a winner.
Oh, yeah.
In my eyes, at least. I don't like being called a loser, man. It's just...
We had 128 teams register, 114 teams show up, and through the 114 teams, we've eliminated a total of 110, and we are left with 4 teams. They had to do a lot of battles to get up to this stage, and obviously we try to make it a little bit harder with the camp competition earlier on, but now we take it back old school, baby. The losers of the camp competition will have to fight against each other to crown the 3rd spot, but both take something back home. We've got GRD taking on Panda for the first series.
And this is definitely going to be really interesting, right? Because if you're looking at the stats from the previous game that they've had, the number one player on that side of the world, I guess, I mean, it's just really interesting how all of these players do, right? It's Jay-Z that always get it, and that's going to be Panda, and that's definitely sure, because Ivan Noobs also did a phenomenal job. So when you're looking at the top part of the scoreline a while ago, it's mostly on Panda's side that we're actually getting majority of those kills.
Absolutely right. And it might just be that perhaps Panda was warming up to the game, to the gameplay, because we kind of saw that in the previous Ravens Clash as well. I was thinking Panda's just this team that was just not very aggressive. It was just a team that was not going to be able to handle some big hot gunfights. But instead, what I found out was these Pandas was just so deceptive, right? They were just baiting everybody in and getting them hook, line, and sinker. Nobody managed to get away from them. Pandas whooped everybody into shape. But of course, it's the 2nd edition. Everybody has seen what Panda has to offer, and they have their own contributions as well as strategy to overcome the competition. Hence why we see Panda this time around playing for the 3rd spot, right? But that's what we want to see. Whether Panda still has any bit left in the tank or it's just the same old tricks.
Oh, no, I absolutely feel like they have something up in their sleeve. It may not work out for the duo setup, maybe just because they just had a difficult time, or maybe the chemistry was just not working out. But in the first place, why would you even settle to be at the 4th line? So there's something happening in between, like going into our last week, right? Because if you're expecting Panda to be the number 1 team, then you expect them to be at the top spot, not at the 4th. And so something needs to happen with their team chemistry, not just because of the duos right now, but again, I still feel like up against a squad like this one, I feel like it's still very much doable for them to get it, because you had 3 players from Panda pop off in those 2 games that we've had.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. And you know, it seems like the players are able to get it done, but perhaps the game mode just messed with their mojo just a tad bit, because the last time round, it was a very straightforward competition setup. It was just PvP modes, and PvP modes are something that the teams and the camps were more than ready for. This is exactly what's available in the game. They knew that, okay, if we will have to have an esports segment, this is the kind of rough rules we'll be playing around in. So everybody started focusing on the training matches, and Panda kind of really got a good grasp of training matches. But then when you kind of blew it into some of these other modes, now this little panda is like, wait, I'm just a simple creature that eats bamboo leaves. Calm down, people. Calm. So, unfortunately, Garena Undawn has no chill. They just don't.
They just don't. I mean, they're throwing off all of these teams, which
Yeah.
is something really great to see, because I don't think I've ever seen an esport where it's PvPvE.
Yep.
And it just works out so well because it makes it even more interesting. It makes it more diverse. And
Yep.
the fact that when you're thinking about it next time when we have this tournament again, which I am 100% sure we will have, it adds an extra excitement to the whole tournament, because
Yeah.
we've seen PvPs. We've seen that, and obviously we also have different mechanics that are unique to this game, but to also add a PvPvE is something that is just unheard of, and there's so many things to play with this game.
And you know, you have a tongue and they love to twist it, right? I know.
PvPvE.
The first time they told me PvPvE, I was like, I think this guy had maybe one too many last night, not enough rest, not enough sleep, and I think he's just got all of his words jumbled up. But no, they kept repeating it, and I was like, wait. Those are too many letters for my brain to catch up with. Okay, you gotta write this down for me. PvPvE. Okay, it took a while, but finally I get it. So that's why I said at the start of this broadcast, right, Beef? It's insane. What Garena Undawn is trying to achieve here through the game and through their new esports ecosystem is nobody would dare do this. Nobody. I'm pretty sure, because it's not just a risky maneuver, but it requires a lot of effort. I mean, clearly from the broadcast, some of the technical issues, some of the footage being blurred, we're going through a lot of difficulty just to bring the action out to the public, but they see something here. They really want to help it grow, and I'm in total support of it, right? I mean, the matches were so exciting, even though some of those moments we could barely catch what was going on.
I mean, when it comes to the PvPvE, right, it's definitely no stranger to a lot of people. People like to see it. Throughout the years, I've played some myself, but
Yeah.
I never thought that it could be an esport, and it is just so good. I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen it in some battle royales where there's like one entity there, you have to get that loot, but
Yeah.
to always constantly be bombarded by zombies and everyone's like versus the environment plus the players that you have to get rid of is definitely a huge stepping stone
Yeah.
towards the right direction. I think so, because you have a diverse set of things that you can do, which I think Garena Undawn is definitely it's in a step to the right direction. I think so.
Yeah, and once again, right, I think the community plays a huge role in the growth of the game, because the developers are depending on the publishers, and the publishers are depending on the feedback of the community. And unfortunately, the right people don't seem to be voicing out as much, and it's the same case in a lot of places, right, where the people who are usually spending their time, investing their time into something, they don't complain all that too much. And then the people who don't do so much, they don't stop complaining. So here's the problem. When the people who don't really play the game and know its true essence, when these people are the most noisiest ones, that's when you have the feedback being sent back, and then the publishers recommend it to the developers to change, for example, the pace of level up on the server. I tell you, it was one of the craziest things, but it was also a fantastic example for the community. Be very careful what you wish for, because once again, when the game first came out, the complaint was, this game is so slow, it's so boring. They tweaked it up, and everybody was like, wait, it's way too fast now, turn it back down. And now we appreciate it. See, it was just like this.
Exactly, appreciate it. And right now we appreciate finally game number 1, and our first mode obviously is going to be Annihilation, where we need to see the kills being down. You need to find a way to save your life, just because if you take it out really quickly, well, that's gonna be a detriment to you later on. But as we're gonna be starting this game, like one thing that I really appreciate is the actual energy bar that you have. It means the gameplay could actually be a little bit slower because you need to find a way to kind of save your energy. But there you go, it's gonna be a completely aggressive start.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Anshu's gonna get caught between two players, and the foam bomb keeps him in place so that they can shut down yet another player. It's a 3v3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't get your knickers in the twist. This is a best of 5. So these players, even if they do falter in the first round, there is still a little bit of a bounce back here. Now it's gonna be Hike for the side of Panda, catching out his opponent once again, tops up the health of his opponent, but unfortunately it is not gonna go their way at all. Andrew versus Hike. Let's see, it's Hike's team that gets the first point.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, we already mentioned how aggressive Panda could be, and so them getting that first start definitely is going to be a shift in momentum to Panda's advantage. GRD needs to find a way to bounce back because that was a very aggressive start to Panda. And if you are GRD, knowing very well that Panda's an aggressive team, you need to find ways to put any kind of ways to stop them, either putting like a simple mine right there or trying to do something to stop their push.
Okay, so at this point of time, it's a tad bit confusing because both the teams have got the same name tag on, which is Panda X GRD, which what
Lord.
were you guys even thinking? So when we look at both the teams, you know, we just have to get our information sorted out here. Daisy, Ivano, as well as Hike to see exactly which team they are from, and they are from Panda, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. GRD, on the other hand, has got Andrew it's not pass away, it's pass away.
Pass away.
When I shoot you, you pass away.
Pass away.
Yes, you pass
it's
away.
It's a double entendre, actually.
I mean,
it really is. I'm pretty sure, like, I think Neptune told you the meaning of that, right? It's like a naughty person. So yeah, it definitely is a really interesting name. But here we go. As we're going to be seeing things, I feel like for GRD, losing that one member just made them slow down just a tad bit, trying to get that information down, because with Panda, they also slowed things down. So I like the adaptation that they've had here.
I just want to have one moment where I say, Pasawai passed away. That's all I'm gonna live for throughout this whole broadcast. I'm just gonna find that one moment where I can say it. But then it seems like the pace has been slowed down here because Panda, after losing one player on their side, seems like they might just lose another.
Honestly, if yours is pass away, mine is unsure. I can't wait for when he goes down. I say, well, you're not insured anymore, man. You're going down. But still, it's a stalemate, man. They're taking things super slow. As we're trying to see, like, this is what I like, because a while ago it was super explosive, but this time around they're trying to slow things down, trying to gather that information, and trying to, you know, the energy bar is definitely something that's into play. So yeah, they're slowing things down, man.
Let's see if or not they can pull this back somehow. In a 3v4, slowing the pace down is only going to play to your advantage for a while, but there's still a timer that you have to worry about. We now have 35 more seconds for this round to be completed. If the timer runs down and we do not see a trade coming through here for the side of Panda, it's going to be a round for GRD, and that's going to be the best equalizer. He comes out with a melee Daisy, who's right in front. He's got the armor pulled out. Andrew, a sliver of health, but he gets the backup, and down he goes. Second player taken out of the equation, and it looks like Panda will secure round number 2.
Oh man, it's just so difficult because you did get to see that player from GRD push, knowing very well that there are multiple players in Panda right there. And not just that, they also had the healing drone to accompany them. And even though he was being healed himself, it just did not work out. And as we're finally get to see that the Panda finally got the upper hand in this game number 1, man, it's just so difficult when you're putting yourself in situations that you know that you're not going to win those gunfights.
Oh my lord. Guys, it's a best of 5. It is a best of 5, and I don't know if or not GRD is going to be able to make a comeback in here. I mean, Panda, it looked like it was just so one-sided, right? Initially, I thought GRD had a plan when they slowed the pace down. They were maybe setting up an ambush, but they just set themselves into a mode of panic because they barely had enough time to strategize anything towards the end. In fact, they were just waiting around. They assumed Panda was going to run towards them. But why would Panda do that? Panda already took away one player from your side. Unfortunate strategy call, and they had to pay a price for it. But it is not over just yet, Beef.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of ways for you to extend that 5,
Yeah.
best out of 5. And what we're actually thinking of, like the type of situations that you can put yourself into is either it's going to be a clean sweep for Panda 3-0, or we get to that game number 3 where things actually get interesting. Because if, let's say, GRD gets to a 2-1 or a 1-2, they get to choose. If they're on the losing end, right, they just need to win one. One game to make it reach game number 3, so they get to choose the mode and map for game number 4, which is absolutely essential if they want to make it reach game number 5.
Yeah, so you may see that Panda's great at Annihilation, but hey, we found this out in the previous tournament. That's why they won. This is exactly what I was talking about. The most basic PvP match, which is trading match, Panda has a good hold on this mode. And of course, Jay-Z taking that MVP title with a total of 4 knockdowns through 37,000 damage, which is pretty insane. But the reason why Jay-Z was able to do that is because of EVA noobs. I mean, noobs in the name, but not noobs in the backup gameplay. 8,590 HP healed for his team members.
I mean, that's definitely a really huge thing because you have certain roles within your team and everyone from Panda is actually doing a phenomenal job. You know that JG is always going to be applying that damage, but you also have someone like Eva Noobs to heal your teammate, to provide the assistance to also get that objective, right?
Yeah.
Of just healing your teammates. You're fine if you're dealing damage, I got you. And that's something that we need to see from these teams that Panda actually has, especially between GRD, is they trust each other enough for their roles to step up, and that was a pretty easy game number 1 of Annihilation.
Annihilation is one thing. We still do have team match as well as hotspot, and this is where potentially GRD might be able to make a comeback. They're a team that clearly prefers to not get into the thick of action. They prefer to take a corner and just to hunker down on that spot, which is gonna, play into their favor potentially when we play hotspot later. Team match as well, but it didn't work out. The strategy should have definitely been different on Annihilation, but we're gonna take that, we're gonna put it in the past, mainly because of how Panda is just so secure on that game mode, right? In a best of 5, it could end prematurely if we don't see much out of GRD in this next match.
And definitely once we do, after team mode, we have the hotspot where things kind of just move around a little bit.
Yes.
A lot more objective plays there. But with what we've already seen for Panda is not only are they getting those kills, but they're also doing their objectives. But on the other side of things, right, for GRD, we need to see this team step up because even during our 2v2 a while ago, they were kind of left out just a tiny bit. Panda was dealing the damage with that team. So again, there needs to be something changed. They have a few minutes to worry about it and try to change something within their gameplay before they do start team mode. So yeah, there needs to be adjustments made.
Yeah, I mean, you chuck a bunch of seeds, you're always going to have that one tiny seed that's a little bit stronger than the rest. It seems to be the scenario here. I think GRD is a really good team. They made it here at the end of the day, but up against Panda in Annihilation, it was a little bit of a challenge. But what happens when we tweak the modes a little bit later? Now, target to 15. 15 eliminations will get you the round. And if Panda's really good at the knockdowns, perhaps this might be their game yet again, Beef.
My goodness, I love this map so much just because of the verticality that you can have and the clutch moments that all of the teams in the previous tournaments have actually had. So at the moment, we do have Panda being more, I feel like, in the more advantageous spot just because they have the verticality to their advantage. You see, they're just playing around. They're waiting for the rest of GRD to go to them.
And it looks like it is a shotgun play for Unsure here. I did see a Bison in the hands of Daisy moments ago as well. So the team's trying to set up a battle for a pretty much CQC engagement against Panda. And it looks like GRD, we got the guess earlier on, pretty spot on where they prefer to bait their opponents in. But as I speak of that, they wait for a minute to Asawai on the time and they take their approach straight towards mid. I believe they spotted out a player already and they cross over towards the spawn of their opponents instead.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to gain that momentum, but for GRD needs to be very careful because you do get to see shotguns being played where you got a shotgun to your face. You need to be very careful, but it's a good thing though that Pasawai also had the shotgun. The drone applying that pressure, but they know that there's going to be a push happening right there on the right side staircase.
Oh my goodness, Hike just didn't play his timing right here. His grenade, he could have waited for a little bit more, but Pasawai almost knocked down onto the ground. Sanji tagged up as well, and it looks like they're going to be able to cap Sanji as well. This is a great trap sprung by the team of Panda, but GRD now, Kuzen as well as Hike, both of them tagging up from the back. Even Noobs joins the fray as well with a healing gun, but can't find the rest of his team members to heal up. Pulls out the shotgun instead. 5 more bullets on the pump, goes in for the heal and backs away. All out chaos, and actually gets one with a treatment sniper as well. Even Noobs just saving the team a tad bit.
Man, it is an explosive start for Panda, having 4 kills already versus that 0 that GRD has. There needs to be a different way, because if you are going to be pushing up a 1v3 like what we saw a while ago, moments ago, you're not going to be winning those gunfights. You need to find backup. You need to find a way to either, if you don't have backup, just go away. But right now we do get to see Envy trying to get that first kill for his team, and finally they do have that, but that's definitely damage dealt.
A great place by Andrew. Hike hopping on into the battle as well, but straight up backstab to Andrew, and Hike will be able to take him out with a fantastic attack from right behind. Anshua joins the battle as well, making this into a 1v2, and Sanji goes down. Now the strategy was perfect from GRD. Just sucker out Panda and have them fight the game at your own base, but unfortunately they walked straight into the trap of the Pandas.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, that's why we keep saying that you have to be in the higher ground, because you definitely would have more of an advantage when you're looking down in your sights, and you're seeing GRD just push and be in the trap of Pandas right now. A 9-1, and there's only 4 left for Panda to win this.
I mean, sit down, son. I think this game is all done and dusted already. 5 more eliminations required for Panda to take the cake. GRD really needs a huge range of strategy, and if they continue to rush into their deaths, you know is going to pile up on the side of Panda. He pulls out the M3 shotgun instead. Kuzan, another pump, takes the drone out with his melee. Unsure circles around, whereas Eva Noobs continues the battle alongside Hike from up top, heals his brother up, and continues the battle as Panda once again sets up yet another surgical ambush.
And as we're kind of slowing things down a tiny bit from GRD, because they are just giving away their lives, only 4 left for Pandas to get. And now they need to find a way to even just play all of their long-range weapons, which they haven't been doing. And now we do get to see GRD finally getting that damage. Sanji, signs of life, but unfortunately it might be too late. Even though they're slowing things down, they have 6 minutes to play with.
Never say never, and I believe Team GRD might just be able to pull this one right back, but it has to be executed well. They've given away way too much of advantage to the opponent's Panda already, and in order to equalize, they need 9 eliminations without dropping a single life. At the moment, nobody's flanked them from the right-hand side, so Panda's lucking out here. All they need to do is just keep their eyes onto one part of the map. This is where GRD needs to put in more effort, Beef.
Yeah, this is the smart thing about Panda, right? They can just wait for the clock to dwindle down. They have 5 minutes to waste. And now for GRD, you're going to be back against the wall just because you need to catch up on those kills, and you have 10 to try and get. But Enryu trying to make that entrance, trying to go up those boxes, spots one player, but unfortunately for him, Pandas, they're going to be hibernating. They're going to be waiting and saying, you come to us.
Yeah, if any one of you guys are friends with anybody on the side of GRD, and if you think that you know when their birthday is gonna be, you buy them a watch, okay? Make sure it's got the stopwatch function. They gotta tell time a little bit better, because way too much of it has been wasted already. Even if effort is put in now, it's gonna be too late. But it doesn't matter. It seems like they've given it up already. 14-2. This is such a one-sided matchup, and a Panda can continue munching on bamboo leaves if this is the case.
Yeah, I mean, here's the difficult part. Once you secure that top building, it's just basically GG's unless you make a unified effort. We barely even got to see foam bombs being placed, because I feel like that's probably one of the things that you could utilize to stop a push quite literally, especially this is the last push that this team has. They only need 1 more kill for Pandas. They need a miraculous run over here as Jay-Z puts the last nail in the coffin. I mean, it was an absolute clinic. Panda just, I can't say anything. They did everything perfect.
Panda didn't do... Okay, Panda did some things, but GRD... I wish I get you when I jump into the game as an opponent, because that was just unfortunate. It was unacceptable. If you're a GRD fan, if you're a GRD camp member, you really have to grab your friend and ask them, what were you thinking? thinking?
Well,
Because
it is just a matter of like, I mean, like what you said. I'm just gonna try to say what, essentially, if you're gonna be against GRD, they're
Yeah.
doing the same thing over and over again. And even though we try to see Andrew trying to be that entry, but take a look at the scoreline. It
Yeah.
does not compare to the other side.
It doesn't at all, right? And mainly where I was going with that is, it's either you camp or you go in for a surgical strike. They decided to camp and then halfway through change it into a surgical strike, got capped, and then just kept running into the wall again and again and again. I mean, you can make a mistake once, but son, you do not make that same mistake twice. Because when you get eliminated, you respawn at your base. What they could have done is just respawned all together, sacrifice those 4 lives, and play that reset. But instead, they just gave away way too many, and they slowed it down when their opponents had 11 eliminations versus the 2 that they had. And I'm like, what's the point of doing it? We've lost so many already.
Yeah,
What's the
unfortunate.
point?
I mean, they put themselves at even more of a disadvantage later on. Where what you mentioned, it was an 11-2 because at a certain point, clock starts becoming your enemy, and you only have 4 minutes left to get 10 kills, which is just unacceptable. But I mean, at this point, we do get to see someone flourish, and it's the team of Pandas, where they are the champions for a reason. They know very well how all of this plays, and this makes me question what's gonna happen in our next game mode, because this is a rotational thing where they're very much on point. You already know that they're so knowledgeable about all of these spawns, number one, and also all of the points and what to do, what the strats are. So GRD needs to push it and gas it up to 100, because if they lose this, it's gonna be a clean sweep. No game number 5.
It ain't over till it's over. And I believe that a true champion learns from all of his mistakes, because that's the only way he can win. Nobody goes through life winning at every single thing that they do. It has to be an eventual step up every single moment of your journey. And I feel like GRD has had those moments where they've learned tough lessons in the past 2 games, even with the defeat in the camp competition earlier on. And now is the point where they play their strategy a little bit differently, right? Like I said, they could have just suckered Panda in and then played time. It would have been a different situation. But after giving lives away, if you play time, you're just giving the advantage over to Panda. So they're just getting their strategies mixed up a little bit. Now, that is totally normal, because for an esports scene this young, we are in our infancy. I don't expect Panda to, or GRD, or any of the teams to have a coach on their side. It's just all the team members themselves thinking of the best formula. Like I said, everything's equal out there. Everybody has got the same base game to go out there and just flourish with their skills. Strategy is going to be something that's pretty independent to teams as well as players. Unfortunately, it's not connecting for GRD, but hopefully we see that connection happening in this competition instead of waiting for the next one, Beef.
Absolutely. I mean, something that you mentioned, that this is an early esport and an early game. And the fact that we're seeing different strategies kind of funnel up, you won't get to see like super straight shooters. You won't see coaches, right? Organizations later on will start picking up teams, and that's what I like to see later on. But the fact that we're having early esports for this game definitely going to be absolutely great for the ecosystem to thrive, because later on you'll start to see different really high quality and high level strategies being put into play. And we saw that a while ago with Panda being brought down. It just means that the 2 other teams did their homework and just tried to counter-strat everything that Panda did.
Hotspot time, baby. Now, if you are GRD and you love camping, hope to God you camp in the hotspot. But if you are a sitting duck, your opponent's Panda will say thank you very much, sir, for an extra meal, and they'll just continue walking away if Pandas eat ducks.
I just had like a visual in my head where Panda's eating ducks, man. That seems so wrong, but hey, that's the thing. When you're back up in a corner, you're going to basically think that the Pandas are carnivores, because they're eating GRD up, and this is the moment that GRD needs to step it up. It's a good start for them, though, as they're finally getting 30 points in their end, and it's a hot blazing start that we need to see from this team.
And there is a potential here as well that one of the team members on the side of Panda is a girl, and GRD has Sanji in it, and you know Sanji hits no woman.
Is that the reason why they're losing? It's just like, you know what, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm hands off. But
his
hey,
principles are just way too annoying. Especially when you're playing
I know
a game.
people like that in real life that won't try to battle with a woman in their team, but hey, that's in your fault. But we do get to see that the Pandas are doing a really good job at finally getting this. I mean, they only have 30 points, but GRD had an explosive start, but let's see how consistent they can be across this hotspot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, GRD starting off strong as anticipated and assumed this is the best game mode thus far for GRD. And now for the first time, we get to see Panda playing catch-up. They are a little bit late to the hotspot, but with this battle, they've managed to flush out the players from the side of GRD, hold on to the hill long enough to find the equalizer, and we are not even done with the first hotspot just yet. Here comes the bleeding. It has been paused. The foam bomb pauses Hike in his spot as well, and the Bison takes him and puts him out of the equation, but Panda with the lead 140 to 120 as we head on to B.
Dream start for GRD, but the catch-up from Panda definitely made it so difficult for them just because it was raining Molotovs and everything was on fire. But good thing for them that the drones were right there to go and heal them very quickly, as 140 and 120. It is going to be a stalemate though, as they're still trying to gather all that they can to get those angles down. But again, it is important for Hike to just deal so much damage.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to which gun is actually going to win this battle, but it looks like it is going to be the fight of the shotguns. Look at that M3 shotgun as well as the Echo just absolutely pop head after head. Now it's going to be Panda, and the movements out of Unsure is going to be very heavy to deal with. A quick slip and slide in with that M3 shotgun, gets the shot, backs away yet again, and gets flashed in the face for a good measure. Andrew, on the other hand, brings out his grenade launcher, pops two players at the same time. No knockdown just yet. He gets glued to his spot and is still alive, and Andrew backs him up. Pass away, finds Daisy with the treatment shot out of nowhere, and it's just all out absolute chaos being.
What a chaotic explosive start, but take a look at that. Panda securing that 300, and even though it seems to be like a back and forth, Panda's still getting majority of those points down just because they're just dealing so much damage with their shotguns, the M3 in hand, and also the grenade launcher just dealing so much damage. But one thing is important, right? When you're so close into the hotspot, something like a shotgun will work out, but you can see also for Pandas, they have players outside of the zone that will take care of everything, trying for those longer angles.
Oh, the Pandas are furious. The Pandas are absolutely annoyed that GRD made them lose the match, and now they have to play for bronze. They are your reigning defending champions, and this is the revenge. Because of you, we are not in the finals, and therefore you pay with your lives. A couple of more shots to end the game, and it looks like the Pandas have conquered each and every single match all the way down to the final. And you better hope and pray that if you're another camp out there, you don't get partnered up with Panda, and if you do, by some chance, you get that victory for them, or else this is your fate.
Man, whatever momentum GRD had was just down the toilet, as Pandas was just literally sitting pretty right there as they're trying to end things in this next hotspot. And we do get to see GRD signs of life though, trying to slowly but surely, if they get majority of the points here, this is probably one of the greatest comebacks from a team here in Undawn. And now 210, 360, and everyone else from Pandas not touching it. And it's slowly going up and up, but finally one critical push coming in from the Pandas.
One critical push. Can they find the break? Here comes the flip, and so many players inside, but the bleeding is paused. No capture just yet, but as I say that, it does get taken away. A few more seconds for the finisher, and by hook or by crook, GRD needs to shove their players in there if they can't find the kills, at the very least to stop the bleeding. But unfortunately, the case will not be such, as Panda walks away with the bronze medal and the third spot.
Man, that was clean. CLEAN. Man, when it comes to Panda's gameplay, it seems like they're so balanced when it comes to all these PvPs. It's just a matter of, you know what, later on they need to find a way to also be as dominant in their PvPvEs.
Yeah.
But man, Panda, super clean. Honestly, if we just had PvPs, I feel like it would definitely be a completely different story. They would have been, I feel like, paired up with a stronger team for the competition that we saw in the first half, right? But here we go. It is the reality of the situations. Panda, congratulations. Because you had the bronze medal, but GRD, I feel like there still needs to be a lot to be done in the drawing board.
I mean, we kind of saw that Panda was 4th out of 4 teams, and this is a clear example as to how just that ranking alone doesn't really paint a full picture as to what you guys can expect here today. I mean, GRD was technically supposed to win on paper, but that wasn't the case when they took on Panda. Panda annihilated all of them.
Oh man. Annihilated during the annihilation, annihilated during team mode, and annihilated here in hotspot.
Oh, yeah.
And yet again, we still have Jay-Z being your MVP. And again, this is a well-balanced team because you have someone that deals so much damage, and you also have someone like Hike and Ivan Noobs to go for more in objective play, and unsure to be that flex player. But on the other side, we did get to see bright spots where things were actually picking up, but a little bit too late for the side of GRD. It's just a matter of, I feel like this team needs to work on their timing.
It is unfortunate, but sometimes you learn from your most bitter experiences. For GRD, the journey has been beautiful thus far with Andrew Cousin as well as Sanji and Pasawai, but unfortunately, the journey will end here for the time being. They need to go back to the drawing board, just like you said, Beef Mommy, and they need to draw up a brand new game plan. It seemed like they almost had it, but throughout the whole battle against Panda, Panda proved that they clearly didn't.
And when it comes to the gameplay, again, GRD was here for a reason. Panda is here for a reason.
Yes.
They beat out like hundreds of teams and just went through so much just to be here. And so it's still pretty impressive the fact that they were able to get the 3rd and 4th spot. But yeah, AJ, I mean, this has been an explosive start here so far, man. It's just like, wow. But speaking of an explosive start, we got it. We got those 1,000 views. Take a look at that. Take a screenshot. I'll definitely do that right now because I don't want to miss out on the free rewards. I'm taking a picture right now. But there you go, 5,000 silver and 20 fiberglass. Hey, we can definitely reach out way more viewers because we did the last time. I believe that we can reach 10,000 this time around.
Look, like I get you. I feel you. You're like 5,000 silver. What? I get you. If there's something we could do more with in this game, it's silver. I mean, there's a lot of things we could do more with in this game, but we would love some extra silver. Garena Undawn, give us more silver. I would love to ask that for you, but they will say give us more viewers. So please hit that like and hit that share as well so we can unlock more of these giveaways for all of you and for all of us as well. Now, in the meantime, Beef and I, we need to grab some water so you guys get to work, okay? Share the link out to all of your camp group chats and get them in here because the next series that we are going to hop on into will crown the champion of our 2nd edition of our esports journey, the Raven Championship. Guys, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm JC.
Hi, I'm Ivan Noobs.
Hi, I'm Hike.
Hi, I am 34 Grams.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Pan.
And will they be able to deal with so much more?
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN.
Here on the middle side. Gonna be able to throw down a few rocks and den, but not really looking to connect anything at all. So this should be just another clear strike here, coming in for the side.
Panda is in here, another takedown, and
Hello guys, Kanda here, leader of YOLO. YOLO team consists of me, Kanda, Mayday, Mikasa, YQT, and also ILDN. Since we are the only team MYSG right now, which means we are the #1 team in the MYSG server. Let's go! Which means YOLO on top. Together we strong. Hurrah!
Hi, I'm JC from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Ivanus from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm Hike of Team Panda.
Hi, I am 33rd Crown from Team Panda.
Hi, I'm unsure of Team Panda.
I know for sure that what we dwell on is who we become.
A winner is a dreamer who never gives up.
Kami sa Panda, we respect all, but we fear none.
Tough times never last, tough people do.
Hit like ravens, chill like pandas.
Learn from victory,
Much from defeat.
Boom, F-flash, nice. Last na kayo.
Back on Alpha and TNT in there. Where are you going? The chat. Shut down the ground as well. Where are you going?
There's nobody near. The wind's all that I can hear. I feel like I am invisible and nobody cares. But if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I'll never ever reach it, then I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be the shooting star, brightens up your heart. No, we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here. Everyone's leaving. When I look back, there's nothing. Oh, I wish I could be reckless, but I'm so small and I won't be seen. Oh, if you say that it's a dream and I can't do anything, and I'll never even reach, then I'll make you believe. There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star, brightens up your heart. I know we're hurting, but the light and hope, they still are out there for us, though they might seem to be far. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here. I'm still right here. The sky is There's no way you can trap me somewhere I shouldn't be. Oh, I'll find my way to leave. When the world's falling apart, I'll be a shooting star brightens up your soul and heart. Nowhere hurting but the light and hope they still are out there for us who they might seem to be for. I'll always be near when you need to dry your tears. Oh, I'm here.
I can't believe what's happening here. When the apocalypse comes, death approaches like a rising tide. This nightmare continues to torture me. And no escape. Shattered world, leaving behind many remnants of the past. Yet there are a few survivors, fleeing, constantly struggling on the path of survival. From desolate fields at dusk to cities turned into ruins. Enduring winds, sand, and dust, the road ahead is still long. But we hold on to our beliefs. Only through unity and solidarity can we find our place of refuge.
Welcome back to the Raven Championship, where it boils down to two teams. Who's gonna get it? Because a while ago, we did get to see an absolute sweep. Will it be a sweep this time around? Well, AJ, I feel like it's not gonna be the case. It's your girl Beef Mommy, and here with me, the Mustachio AJ, the Beefstachio duo, right again here for the second Raven Championship. Man, it feels really good right now.
I mean, it feels good for me personally for multiple reasons. Okay, multiple reasons. Reason number one, I've been playing this game since the beta days, so to see the game grow to a point where it's establishing an esports scene is fantastic. Reason number two is because I used to belong to one camp, and then some of us got kicked out of the camp because some people in the camp didn't want to play as aggressive as us. Some others felt like they really wanted to focus on PvP. PvP is what gave birth to the esports scene. So a bunch of us left that clan and came up with a brand new brand, and it's called YOLO. And I say when we came up with the brand, I did nothing. It was Kanda, he and the guys, they kind of got together, they created this, and they just asked me, hey Mustachio, we are leaving because we want to play PvP. How about you? Do you want to play PvE or PvP? I said I love both, but I'm definitely a competitive kind of guy, right? So I followed suit, and they've been carrying me ever since. But yes, the previous tournament, YOLO couldn't qualify because it was by invitation only, and YOLO had changed camps, so they didn't get that invitation. There was a whole lot of chaos. And by the way, guys, congratulations, because we unlocked 2,000 viewers as well. Someone was asking like, wait a minute, I thought we got way more than 1,000. You are absolutely correct. One by one, my child. You know, the time comes, right? So going back to the story.
Believe.
Yeah.
What the heck? Oh, my bad. I'm just so surprised we already reached 2,000 viewers in a matter of 10 minutes of us not being here. So do we just have to not be here for us to get viewers?
No. We got it whilst we were talking, and then you know they can only give away one code at one time. If not, bam, people will be like they skipped some codes. we don't want to let them say that, right?
But back to your story.
Yeah, so left YOLO, and unfortunately they couldn't go to the inaugural esports tournament and really prove what they were worth. Because, can you imagine to exit a camp because you wanted to focus on PvP, and for the inaugural esports event, you're not even accepted because you just created a brand new camp. Although you're good and qualified, you can't join. So there was a lot of unfortunate dissatisfaction with that. Some people felt like, you just don't deserve to be in there. But it's great to see that after all of that unfortunate controversy, YOLO has earned this stage for this whole region, not just themselves, but for MYSG, and are currently not one of 3, but are playing for the top 2 here. And even if they do walk away with the second prize, it is quite admirable. But if they become champions, it is quite a heck of a journey. But let's talk a little bit about the journey that just ended, unfortunately, for GRD Beef.
I know. I mean, when it comes to GRD's gameplay, there's definitely a lot more polishing on their end. And I mean, it definitely is impressive, the fact that they got into the top 4 spot, but definitely something to think about if they want to be that #1 team in the later tournaments that we have.
Yeah.
But for YOLO and XEMP to be here, it's PH versus MYSG. And like what you mentioned, they didn't have the start that they wanted last time around for YOLO, right? But this is the time where it actually matters. So the fact that they're here, like I'm gonna mention, I think it's most likely going to be brought to a game number 5. So it's going to be a game of chess for sure.
I don't know, because, dude, these Filipinos are killing it in every single game. So XM might just be what takes YOLO out of the equation altogether. Now, we did see Reikyo earlier on. He's not just a Reikyo. He's just an absolute Reikyo, right? He knows how to wreck his opponents. He did that 17 eliminations. I mean, give me a break. He's a monster on the side of XEMP.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of another monster, we're looking at Kanda as well on the other side of YOLO, where he definitely knows how to take things objectively.
Oh, yeah.
And so a while ago, they were teammates, but now they're going up against each other. The game of chess finally ensues. But like one thing that we know for EMP is that they definitely know how to bring the gunfight, especially if you have Reikyo in your team.
You know what they say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's exactly what happened earlier. They teamed up, they took out 2 teams, and they threw them into the bronze match. But now the winners have to go against each other to take the gold, to take that #1 spot, to earn that pride in the MYSGPH server. Reikyo with a quick peek and the shot, the pixel peep once again from him as the sniper of the squad. And yes, you can see this is a very different sort of a setup and pacing in comparison to the bronze match that we had earlier. Both these teams super tactical.
Oh yeah, this is what I like to see and what I kind of expected between both of these teams. They're trying to get that momentum, trying to get those angles right, information given to the teams, and that's why you don't really get to see an aggressive push for this first round. And that will definitely come into play later if they want to play more aggressive in the next few rounds, but they know what's at stake.
Yeah.
And so far for both of these teams, again, pretty impressive. They're winding down the clock, but 1 minute and 39 left. They need to find a way to go and push it.
Now, I see some of you guys a little worried in YouTube. You only think that we have less than 100 viewers. Don't worry, guys. We are on multiple platforms at this point of time. Now, if you want to get involved in a lot of the conversation, I would highly recommend you jump over to Facebook as well and follow our pages. You will be directed to the Filipino page if you are from the Philippines, the MYSG page if you're from MYSG. Now, if you do tune in there, you will probably see a lot more drama in the comment section. What a miss off of that snipe. But it looks like EMP is going to be able to back away with Reikyo missing all of those shots. Now, here's the problem, Beef. Once you give your opponents a little bit too much of time to cool down, they also have an opportunity to recover.
Oh my goodness, the push finally comes through and there's just so much damage, and this is what you've been saying. This is the push and the aggression that we really needed to see from YOLO, and so far so good. PP19 in hand, that's definitely going to be an absolute wreck here in those close range quarters, and they're just dealing so much damage when they're, especially with the util that they have. A 2v4 is gonna happen, and it's looking pretty dear and dire right now for both of these teams, but Envy going down as we're finally bringing it down to a 2v2. So yes, even though that there was some damage dealt, it's just so not doable for the side of EMP because YOLO just did an amazing job. But here we go. This is what you mentioned. This team is just so good, man.
Yeah, I mean, shocking turnaround here, and it's all because they focused their firepower onto Reikyo. They managed to zone him out, catch him first, and an instant ambush took Reikyo down just enough so that he can back away. And we took that bait and switch, took Reikyo's spot, and he was being healed by his team member Kaiser, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. The timing of execution from YOLO was just a little bit better in that round, but it's not just about this one round. It is a target to 2. Here is the point where EMP can pull this game back into a balance and perhaps turn things around, but they really have to make sure that ambush set up by YOLO is not executed well again.
But here's the thing though, YOLO's actually just gaining so much space and EMP is starting to look like they're being backed up. They're in such an open area.
Yeah.
And for YOLO, you can see on your screen that they're playing their corners and they're also playing a lot of just giving that information down.
Yeah.
And a while ago, what we saw from YOLO was just absolutely brilliant because yes, they were passive in the beginning, but now they're being a little bit more aggressive and just getting as much information in space as possible.
Eldan down in middle. It's a very risky spot for YOLO to hold. Now they have been flanked and a beautiful snipe connection onto Kanda. Reikyo! What a connection! This guy's a beast. Wait for his opportunity. Grenade takes him out and Eldan down on the ground. Courtesy of Reikyo. Chips Kanda's armor as well. Reikyo, the monster, the beast. But no punishment just yet. Mayday's gonna be caught out as well. Here comes the Bison. Reikyo going in for the finisher. Finds the foam bomb. Bye-bye, Mayday. Thank you for coming, says Reikyo.
Oh my gosh, that entry for Reikyo, that first kill just allowed his team to infiltrate mid, and now it's just a 4v1. There's just nothing that we can see from YOLO, and that is just damage dealt, and Reikyo, everything went down, and this is what one member from a team, this is the damage that they can do. Not only did he enter and provided that space, but that foam bomb plus kill. How many kills did he even have in that round?
Oh, Reikyo knows how to kick some good booty out there on the battlefield, man. I mean, I think there's a potential 4 eliminations on the side of Reikyo from that round. He practically aced his opponents, but there's no way he would pull that off without some solid backup from the rest of your team members. And it all started off with Reikyo and his very precise execution. And the mistake was initially made by YOLO because they took the mid segment off this map, and it's pretty much a deadly spot if you get flanked, and the flank that came through from EMP was just way too good. But once again, the credit to Reikyo, as this time Kanda breaks his armor and forces him to exit the lobby for the exit the battle for the time being. Reikyo has to back away until he recovers all of his armor. In the meantime, Fox will need a little bit of the recovery time as well. But earlier on, Reikyo's snipes were the difference maker. If he can pull it off once again, Beef, we might just see a fantastic comeback from the Philippines.
Man, YOLO needs to find a way to create a choke point like what they did in game number 1, because they went outside instead. It's so rare to find engagements outside of this particular mid map because it's so quickly that you can be stuck inside, and that's what happened in game number 2 for EMP, where they just went in, they covered every single angle and just waited for Reikyo to get that one pick, went in, and now this time around it seems like EMP is also waiting for YOLO to just be caught and just essentially be trapped again.
We are 2,000 viewers strong on Facebook right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Garena Undawn community, say hello in the chat, baby. We are making history. And at the same time, YOLO versus EMP, and it looks like YOLO struggling a tad bit, but no players taken out of the equation just yet. Eldan once again holding on to mid, and it looks like that backup coming through from Mayday as well catches yet another opportunity, but the players on the side of EMP just trying to bait out all of those shots, and Fox mainly the bait this time around. But is anybody going in for the flank? Because that's going to be the difference maker, and it looks like Reikyo is going exactly in for that, and he manages to pressure them a tad bit with his sniper. We catch up with Kaiser as well. Kaiser from the left. Mayday gets tagged out. Eldan tagged up as well, and then gets out of the way and survives. But the right hand side flank, the battle continues. Reikyo, Eldan still surviving. The backup play. Eldan is still alive, and we now in a 1v2. The armor broken already. Eldan doesn't find the execution. No more recovery, and Diane goes down.
and they're still trying to revive. And so far, not so good as 3 players coming in from this team. Oh my goodness, it's just not going to be doable as this third game goes into the side of EMP, where again, Reikio creates that space. And one thing that you need to know if you are on the opposing end, you need to get rid of this guy first because he just creates so much chaos.
YOLO mistake, capitalization by EMP, fantastic play by Reikio. I mean, crazy teamwork. Eldian is one of the damage dealers for the squad, and we saw one of the most important aspects in PvP of Garena Undawn. You must have a healer on your side. The problem is EMP had a healer on their side as well, and NB just managed to last a few seconds extra in comparison to Eldian, and Eldian went down like a freaking waterfall, came crashing down. Look at Reikio, 6 eliminations in total, but unfortunately the composition here is a tad bit off, because you are looking at a side of the Filipinos who are very capable with that aggression. But if you look on the side of YOLO, YQT is focusing way too much on just purely healing, and Mayday's not getting enough damage in to support them with the firepower.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the damage being dealt right now by Reikio is just a little bit too much. I mean, I'm saying, yeah, he's dealing so much of that damage as 6 knockdowns, but you can also have everyone else. You can basically have Kaiser to do the healing as well. So he doesn't have to be engaging, because Reikio is literally picking every single one of these players off. And what we've noticed so far in game number 2 and 3, where is the fact that he went in, they always wait for him to get a pick, and then they go push as a team, just pick one corner to play with. Unlike in the first round, where we actually saw YOLO go outside instead, and they were a little bit passive in the beginning. So it's something that we need to see more often, something when it comes to change of strategy, because once they started to stay there, they were just sitting ducks at that point.
I mean, sitting ducks for sure, right? By the way, for all of you guys who are sitting at home watching this fantastic broadcast, thank you for hitting that like. Thank you for hitting that share. When we made that shout out earlier, we were about 400 viewers. We are 2,200 strong on Facebook right now. I mean, come on, community. You guys freaking rock. This is all for you guys. Ionic Membrane times 30. I know it's nonsensical. What is going on, Garena? I don't know, but I guess it's hard to get some of these gifts approved for us. And at the end of the day, we might have a lot of people watching, so there are a lot of items being given away. We want more. I want more. I want to have a 10,000 viewership goal hit so that we can get our hands on some chip crates. Okay, now that is not all of the action we have today. I mean, we just saw a fantastic comeback by the Filipinos, Beef, and you know, I really can't say that was not something we couldn't see coming.
I mean, it was just a glimpse of the gameplay from both of these teams, and it really seems like you need to find a way to balance yourself out, because if one person is doing their job, yes, but you need to step it up sometimes, and I feel like this is when becoming flex comes to play. If your damage dealer is not dealing the damage that you want, then you need to step it up, and hopefully next time when we do get to see him the other game modes, definitely going to be really important, right?
That's just game 1, bro. Best of 5, baby. And we saw a comeback in the first game in itself. But will MYSG be able to come back? Will YOLO be able to shut down the ever-raging EMP that was their partner in the previous mode to qualify for the grand finals? This time round, we're hopping on into team mode, baby. The first 1 to 15 eliminations wins the game.
And here we go. I mean, this is the best case scenario for YOLO, just because you're starting out on that high ground level. But the thing is, though, I mean, both of them are starting on the high ground, but you need to maintain it there. You're staying, and it's a good thing that we're dealing that much damage from far away. It's basically just like, okay, you go to us. And this is usually the case when we're seeing team mode where they're just trying to get their footing. Because if you lose that high ground, you're trying to play catch up every single time, kind of like what we saw in our bronze game a while ago.
It is going to be a slower pace this time around. Reikio and squad managing to find a disengage. Initially, they found big openers. Tagged up once again. And the heavy grenade launcher will not find the connection at all, as Fox finds a couple of bullets once again, tagging him. Very, very great pixel peeps, as well as shots fired from the side of YOLO. But here's the problem though. XEMP, they don't look like they are even a little bit scared. They're just waiting for the opportunity to spring this ambush.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to it, they just have to be patient. I mean, it's just a matter of who's gonna push who. And at the moment, it is gonna be YOLO with a more favorable spot. But right from far away, we do get to see some sniper picks here, but not enough to deal enough damage. And it is really important to use the smoke bomb. You do want to push, but then the foam bomb gets right there, down to one person, and XEMP looking like they're gonna be backed up in the corner, one piece for
very
each team.
smart positioning played here by the members of YOLO. And they are going to drop the healing device so they get their HP topped up a tad bit. Not a lot though, just gives you a couple of extra seconds on the battlefield. And Eldian, I believe, is on that right-hand side. So very smart play once again, position-wise by the YOLO team members. But the question is anybody going to come in here for a backstab? If they come in for a flank, maybe might just get the job done. And it's going to be the grenade launcher. And it will be the Molotov popped as well to take him out of the defense. And Mayday once again, just cheap shots after sliding out, baiting out the players of Exempt, whilst the rest of his team members finds those tags, but only a 1-for-1 elimination thus far.
I'm loving the strategy of both teams right now. They are not over pushing because when we saw that GRD game a while ago versus Pandas, they were just feeding kills after kills. But now, once the trade happens, they just push back a little bit. We can go to spawn. We have 7 minutes to play with. And like what we keep mentioning, YOLO is in a really great spot just because of how open this place is. And it's easy for them to create a choke point for XEMP. But one good thing that we're seeing right now on your screen is Reikio is actually going around trying to create that flank that we love to see.
Oh my god, but Reikio, I mean, how crazy is that? Mayday! Get away, baby! Oh, you're gonna get sniped to Kingdom Come! What a play by Reikio! Repositions, goes back to his base, down mid, spots a player, gets the tag, changes his weapon again, and you gotta love the esports system here in Garena Undawn.
I mean, that was just brilliant, but there was no follow-up from his team. He was dealing damage, but not able to get the knockdown. And there needs to be a way for him because he's applying that pressure. He's doing that gameplay where he's going in the back end, right? But they can't get anything. It's still a stalemate. 1 minute has already passed, and it's still a 1-in-1 situation.
Okay, so for anybody out there that's wondering, wait a minute, how do you win a competition like this? You win it through damage, not necessarily through the eliminations. As long as one team can get more damage in comparison to the other, they win the round. So this is pro plays, high-level gameplay of Garena Undawn that you guys are just not used to watching. Some people may say, oh man, this is just chicken stuff, man. They're not even engaging out in the open. Yeah, you saw what happened in our bronze match. When you engage in the open, it's over, baby. And Mayday once again getting caught out in the middle. But it looks like the SVD just won't get the job done once again.
Well, that's the thing, though. It is YOLO just not providing any of that damage. Speaking of, he actually goes in there, close range, able to provide some sort of damage here, but then the knockdown finally ensues, and YOLO, mighty, trying to get such mighty kills, and now it's 2-1, and guess what? Reikio's too far away to provide any kind of damage.
Oh, that plan backfired on Team EMP just like that. And it looks like Kanda's gonna get tagged up by 2 players now. Can the captain hold the ground? He gets dropped onto the floor and taken out of the elimination as well. Nobody picks him right back up. And here comes the trade Mayday and a good knockdown. And they put him out of the equation with the M3 shotgun. Circles around, backstab once again. And look at the tenacity coming through. But Envy wins out his gunfight, puts Eldian down on the ground. And that's the comeback gameplay. 5-4 with just 1 elimination sitting between them.
Ooh, counterplay after counterplay. We did get to see YOLO just give so much pushes inside of the spawn of XEMP, knowing very well that Reikio is far, so it just means there was a 3v4 happening, but also them going in there also provided so much space for Envy to try and get all of these kills here, and so far it is 2 more kills above YOLO.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now they are slowly but surely putting some distance between themselves as well as their opponents. Fox, opportunity to just run away with this as Cutie gets dropped and they have taken the lead, and this is the way you want to win a competition. It was neck and neck, maybe perhaps earlier on, but now YOLO falling behind 4 eliminations, and they need to get their way right back in here. We thought Reikio had made an unfortunate mistake, but he has already helped the team make their comeback as quickly as that mistake was made.
I mean, it's not just Reikio. I mean, Envy did a phenomenal job with the shotgun and pushing that, knowing very well that YOLO would want to get back the place that the spawn essentially that they had. But right now, so many gunfights ensuing, and at 5 and 10, it just seems like YOLO is just having a really difficult time when it comes to these kills.
Backslide coming through from everyone there. It's just an all-out shotgun gameplay here, and you cannot fight the Filipinos when they whip out that shotgun. 3 more eliminations for EMP, and it's gonna be all over. Camp YOLO needs to back away. Can they run? Even if they can run, unfortunately, EMP will drop the bomb, and they cannot hide. 3 players backing up each other. This may be the place where it is all over. Foam bomb! Foam bomb! Foam bomb drop by Reikio! Reikio gets straightened out even though the foam bomb was on the ground. Kaiser appears from nowhere, and he gets straightened right back out. All of a sudden, it's 9-13. Maybe it's a comeback. It's insane what's happening here.
This is very doable. They need to go and push as a team, but 2 minutes and 51 seconds. The time is not on their side, but definitely still doable. Need to find a way to create that space. Foam bombs already trying to rain down XEMP. And now all they need to do is hide. They need to be passive because YOLO is definitely going to be on the hunt.
But now, this is the same problem the bronze match faced earlier on. Too much of time had been wasted at the start of the match. They have to rush. Only one team needs to rush. The other one can hold for Kingdom Come. And unfortunately for YOLO, they have to move. They have to go. They are holding down mid. They cannot afford this. Reikio's going to get tagged up down mid, but he's going to back away. Armor recovery time. If YOLO wants to strike, they got to strike now.
And now, speaking of striking now, all it takes is one foam bomb and a whole team to go and attack. But unfortunately for them, they have sights down. They're just sitting pretty right here on top. And this is the best case scenario for EMP because they're just waiting for YOLO to come because they know they need the kills. But a minute and 55 to play with is just not time enough for you. And also still deeming that damage and also information given that it might be a push into that left side of the map.
1 minute 50 seconds more, and Team YOLO needs to get 4 eliminations just to tie this game up, just to equalize so that we can take a look and see who did more damage. Foam Bomb's not gonna find any connection just yet. Kanda with the backup, tosses a grenade into the mix as well. He can take the left-hand side stairs. The rest of his team members on the right-hand side. It's the backstab. 1 minute 30 more seconds. He uses the truck. He gets the elevation. And we, on the other hand, will find a player creeping on up. They get the 14th elimination. One more needed. Mayday down. Mayday. Mayday. YOLO's out. And EMP gets game 2 as well.
Oh man, that was just a GG's, man. It was such a great gameplay from YOLO too. I'm just gonna commend both teams. They played it really well, but YOLO tried to go in there for the pinch. But I feel like the pinch was just a little bit too late and one person behind was just not enough. A 4v4, this is how difficult things can be. Man, there's so many things to talk about in this game.
And that's why, for anybody that did not believe that Garena Undawn can have an esports ecosystem, you should play Garena Undawn a little bit more before you say things like that. What a great game. I mean, it seems fast-paced, it seems like it's straightforward, but there's just so much of technical knowledge sunken in here by the squad of EMP. Timing needs to be played well. Energy needs to be conserved. The right items need to be used. The right guns need to be used at the right time. So much of that complex calculation put in, and at the end of the day, even that is not enough. You gotta have fantastic mechanical play, and those backslides with the shotgun. Give me your break, EMP. I'm in love, baby.
Honestly, for me, even though we see Reikio as the MVP, for me, it's definitely going to be Envy with that shotgun kill because that's when things turned around better for this team. We saw YOLO push those 3 players just because they were able to find out that, hey, Reikio's far away in their spawn.
Yeah.
Why don't we push and get these kills? And that's when they got more of those kills, right? But it was such fast communication from EMP where they took wherever YOLO was at before and Envy just took the shotgun to the face of anyone in their way, and that was basically GG's for them. But again, that was such a good thing to see for YOLO that they didn't try. I mean, they tried super hard to make that comeback with that 9 and 15.
I mean, it is what it is, right? And this goes back to the story that we built up at the start of this competition. Not of course, at the very start, but at the start of today, where we said, regardless of how much YOLO can do within the MYSG scene, you can be the best kid on the block, but when you go international, when you go and meet some of these regional teams, you want to deal with the best in the Philippines. Bro, it's a different gameplay altogether. These Filipinos live and breathe video games, especially when it comes to mobile, and the esports scene is absolutely littered with the Philippines and their flags for one good reason, right? They know how to play a good set of video games. 2-0 now in our grand finals. It could just be a 3-0 absolute wipe.
I can't believe it. But if one thing's for sure, we definitely know Hotspot is a game that can be very close. We saw it a while ago. It was the closest game in that bronze matchup. But I'm hoping, because this is the last possible game that YOLO can have to save them, to extend things into a game number 4 where they will have an opportunity to pick the game mode. And that is definitely one thing that they have. So again, it's just wishful thinking, but I can definitely see it happening here in game number 3.
I mean, may the best one win. It's a best out of 5. We are 2-0 up if you are an EMP fan, 2-0 down if you're a YOLO fan. But you know what, right? They say comeback is real. And maybe, just maybe, YOLO can prove that a comeback is possible in the ecosystem of Garena Undawn's esports world. The Raven Championship was built for some great highs and some phenomenal lows. And if you didn't cry as Sherry was singing before we started the show, you are about to cry when your team loses out there, because that's how much is on the line.
Can I just say, every time I open up Undawn or just watch the broadcast, I get so emotional with the music that always pops up, man. I mean, just like, come on. It's just like, it's life or death situation. We are a post-apocalyptic world, and Cherry's right there staring at your face. Production, I mean, or just like whoever's listening right now for the side of Garena, your girl needs someone like that in her life.
Dude.
And he's got 2.
She doesn't even have any wrinkles, okay? She doesn't have any worry wrinkles on her forehead. She's going through an apocalypse. She's an icon. She's an icon. That's what she is.
She is her. She is her.
Let's go. It's gonna be Hotspot, baby, and the last out for YOLO. And it looks like somebody's gonna be losing their armor first. It's gonna be the one and only Mayday. The backup from the rest of the team members, especially YQT, has to be delivered, and Mayday's gonna catch up. Kanda down, and it is gonna be an absolute no-no for Team YOLO, as here comes EMP for the first capture.
Man, it's just they're clearing up so much space, and EMP is just having that attack here on that first side, and it is 7 minutes to play with Yes, match to 400, and it's littered by EMP players right now. They're just providing so much of space, and yes, there's still chaos. They're still trying to get that win, but so far it is going to be a stalemate.
The XEMP, let's see if or not they can find the capture, and they do exactly that. And finally, the points start ticking on their way. Reikyo, a sliver of health left, still finding the way to survive. Mayday gets taken down. Reikyo gets his health topped right back up. XEMP is doing so many things. They're making YOLO look like a bunch of noobs.
Man, it is the shotgun gameplay that always shuts down YOLO, even though they're smart. Yes, they have certain plays, but the mechanical skills is just showing right now in favor of EMP. We finally get to see things happen for YOLO as they're trying to infiltrate it, but it's still a little bit too much for them, as 120 already for the side of EMP.
Yeah, for anybody questioning why did we not combine our server, MYSD and PH, thank the good Lord they did it, because this is what we will all face during any one of our PvP matches. This is an absolute onslaught from XEMP. YOLO hasn't even been able to break the hill for a single second. They are walking up on a double egg right now. 0-0. Their opponents on 200. Halfway there. Reikyo out of the equation. Kaiser loses his life. Envy the final one. But even if they do win this battle, the hill is about to move. The Hotspot gets away from A, and unfortunately for YOLO, XEMP still with the advantage.
I mean, I get the rotation that you need to do for that next set, but I mean, you just giving away those free points when you have 0, it would be understandable if you were level of the points or if you had any points to begin with, but the contest is so important. It seems like that rotation is going to be their first line to deal with, but let's see if it's going to provide them any more points and if it's worth it in the beginning.
This is the grand finals of the Raven Championship, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and we might just be reaching the very end of our broadcast. 3,100 on Facebook strong. The community of Garena Undawn absolutely livid right now, as YOLO hasn't been able to do anything against the Filipino champs called XEMP. You can call them champs right here, right now. 290 already. YOLO still has nothing. 5 more minutes to go. A game-changing play needs to happen, but XEMP is not having any of that. They want it to end. They want it to end right here, right now, B.
Bruh, surely it doesn't end like this, right? 340 and 0. They are making this as clean as possible. AJ 360 now with 4 minutes. That is a lot of time. And yes, they're gonna be stunned, but the damage is still not enough. AJ, this is an absolute shit show.
It's over! It's over, and your champions of the Raven Championship, the one and only XEMP. And if you always wondered which server is the best, bro, which one of the regions is the best, bro, Filipinos, stand up, because it's you. And every single player from the Philippines can rejoice, because holy hell, that was one heck of a performance from XEMP.
We are speedrunning this whole championship, man. 3-0 for the Bronze Series and now 3-0 for the championship, and well-deserved because XEMP has showed us how to play esports for this Raven Championship. And Undawn, everyone else, all the teams, look at this team because they absolutely served everyone here.
They served everyone a can of whoop ass. What a play, XEMP. I mean, come on. You just have to look at it this way, right? YOLO, the best in MYSD, and XEMP made them look like absolutely nothing. 400-0. I mean, kudos to YOLO for getting all the way here, but they just could not take down the Great Wall of Philippines in XEMP.
Man, I mean, Reikio being MVP again. You can count how many times this guy's an MVP, but everyone else in his team, they're doing their job. Envy is always right there, being the secondary guy to get that, but the knockdowns to get that 9 to his name. But Fox also dealing so much damage already, and anyone else from YOLO cannot do anything. I mean, as much as I would like to commend them in this gameplay, I cannot do so just because of that egg sitting right there, right next to that 400. It's too much, man.
I mean, it's just insane what we've got here at the Raven Championship. Let's take a look at the bracket update as well, because we had initially GRD as well as Panda being kicked down into the bronze match, where GRD couldn't cut much against the reigning champions Panda, but Panda couldn't play to hold their title, as it was YOLO and EMP that worked together to shut down Panda and GRD. But when they had to take each other on, we knew exactly why YOLO wasn't gonna walk away with the championship, because XEMP is just built different. Your champions of the Raven Championship in the second season of our Garena Undawn esports journey. They've proven that if you really put your heart into it, you can walk away with all that you want.
Man, it seems like they're the most polished team right now in Season 2. And I did not expect it to go down this way. But that is the dream run of the Emperors. And my goodness, YOLO did a phenomenal job in the first 2 games. They tried to put a dent, but this game of Hotspot was just a completely different thing. And definitely needs to find a way to fix it up for a Season 3.
3.9k viewers on Facebook right now. You guys are insane. You already broke the 4,000 viewership milestone. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are insane. You have 7,500 silver now. I was complaining about the 5,000 earlier, but I believe it has stacked up quite decently up till now, as well as 30 accessory blueprints. I'm sorry, it's a level 1. Maybe next time we'll get a level 2 or 3.
It's okay. I mean, we have so many more seasons in the future where we'll have a lot more of these redeem codes for sure, just because of how much people are actually watching. 3,000 a while ago, and just like that, it's 4K. Oh man, I'm already seeing the 15,000 is very doable for next time.
I mean, I just want to say this is the birth of something so beautiful, right?
I know.
It's still climbing as we are talking, Beef, because of course there's a little bit of delay on broadcast. It's 4.4K at its highest when that final match was running earlier. And it's just absolutely insane, the love and the support that we are getting from the Garena Undawn community. But since I have all of you here now, it's the best time to tell you guys this. The game will not be great without all of you. So please continue to send your feedback in so that we can make all of the changes that you guys want.
Man, like what you mentioned, this community is growing so quickly, especially from our first season. Now in the second, I can see the comment section. I was looking at you guys and the fire within you. We can feel it all the way from here. And I'm far away. I'm all across the ocean.
Yeah.
But man, AJ, you can feel the heat for sure.
I am, yeah. I'm sweating. My armpit's sweating.
I don't want to leave yet.
I
don't want to go yet, man. I miss everyone here, but you guys are amazing at home. AJ,
Yeah.
It was an absolute blast casting with you
Likewise.
again. And I'm looking forward to doing more things like this, especially Undawn is going to be even way better next time around.
Oh man, I mean today's finals was, I feel like I'm gonna cry because it's crazy seeing that amount of hype, that amount of action for our esports journey this early in its infancy. To be able to build up that much of hype, it's insane. I can't wait to see what more the Garena Undawn team has got to offer all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unfortunately, that is the end of this broadcast. Hopefully, we see more of these tournaments. If you like what you see, please hit that like, share this broadcast out as well. Get the numbers as high as possible so we can convince the whole world of Undawn that esports within the game is definitely necessary, because we want to see some PvP action between all the regions one day. My name's AJ. I'm the Mustache down here with Beef Mummy. And on behalf of the whole Garena Undawn team, thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Keep surviving.